before we get started, you know what I'm saying, as they rolling in, all right, I got some things I need to say. First off, let me say, all right, before we get started, why everybody turned the fuck up today? I thought I was going to be the person to be turned the fuck up today, you know what I'm saying, on Twitter, and be amped up. And I come on my timeline, and I'm seeing people getting turned the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, people acting like they want a Grammy and shit. This joint. I was like, yo, what's going on? Like, people was just asking for it at this point. I don't know what's up with that. So let me get started, all right? Because for those who don't know, all right, because I know a lot of y'all got some shit to say on the pre-stream. I know y'all want to say some shit on the pre-stream, so we're going to get into it. All right. Wait, let's look for the FA Cup champ. We're not even going to start that yet. Trust me. It's a topic today that we're going to talk on. It's definitely a topic, but like I said before that, right? This is some shit I got to get off my chest. For those who do not know, all right?
Get it off your chest, man.
Philly Sports Twitter, Philly Sports Radio. I don't understand what the fuck is going on. Look, let me tell you something, all right? This little clown, Spike Eskin, I need to start with him. Because when I saw my timeline today, you fuck kidding me, man. Are you going to sit here and act like you the shit? You going to call out Prince? Hold on. You called out Prince because he pretty much called you for what you were, all right? That's what he did. And then you're going to be like, man, everybody on my jock, blah, 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 blah. And then Prince decided to give him bars. And I'm like, yo, why are you putting this on my timeline, man? Like, you know he can't defend himself. What's wrong with you? Look, Philly Twitter has a problem with this, especially with their radio guys. They think they're untouchable. And I keep telling y'all time and time again, y'all are not untouchable. Stop this old bullshit. Now, the last time I talked with Spike Eskin, I challenged him to a game of basketball. And then I was like, yo, if you don't want to play me, you can play old boy I know. Because Spike Eskin swear he can make it in the NBA. And I'm like, you live in delusions of grandeur, bro. But you gotta be kidding me.
He never took you up on that offer, huh?
Nah, he was like, no, these people are weird on Twitter, B. First off, shut the fuck up. All right, this is how we settle things. And I keep telling people on these radio guys, the way we deal with things, our demographic, our generation, if we have a difference in opinion when it comes to sports, we got to run one-on-one. Whether you feel you're right or not, we play one-on-one, straight up. If it's football, one-on-one, steady quarterback. You know what I mean? If it's basketball, one-on-one. If it's hockey, one-on-one, steady goalie. This is what we do. We've been doing it for years. And I'm not trying to hear all of a sudden they're going to come in and change the fucking rules. So since Spike Eskin thinks he got some shit with him, because you got to be out your motherfucking mind if you thought you was going to not get bars, Spike Eskin, look, he the type that could say he could play in the NBA only to turn the ball over in the fourth quarter, just talking about it, all right? That's the type of dude he is right now. I'm trying to... Fuck all this. Come on, man. Give him some shots. Look, we're going to go all the way today. Spike Eskin talking shit to fans, knowing he can't get through a session without Narcan? This is the same Spike Eskin we talking. Come on, man. Stop playing with me. All right? Spike Eskin the type to scream Black Lives Matter while cheering for putting minorities in prison. Stop playing with me. Spike Eskin don't want real bars. And here's the thing. I'm just spitballing. Spike Eskin, the type to get a deal because of his daddy, only to get revoked by his mama. I ain't trying to hear this shit, man. Stop playing with me. And then he gonna talk about something, I got a deal. That's what he's saying now. I got a deal, so I don't need to deal with any of y'all. First off, he talking about he got a deal, but now you going to NY, bruh. You got a deal. There's a difference. I'm not trying to hear this old bullshit. All right, and it goes the same thing with Philly Twitter. Y'all can't sit here and talk this shit to each other without doing something about it. Especially the women. Oh, I got some tits. I can get the fuck away where I want to say. No, the fuck you can't. It's this simple. You start popping off, you start capping, and somebody is going to come, you're going to come across somebody that they're not going to take that shit. They'll go after you. They'll go after your man. They'll go after whoever. Don't nobody care. I will eat some of these motherfucking girls up while I even been a mile away from their stank-ass carb seat rub pussy. Stop playing with me on this motherfucker. I'm telling y'all, I will go after everybody if I need to. I am sick of it. Everyone capping for no reason. No reason. And I'm tired. Because all we see is this. Spike Eskin, I'm telling you now, bruh. All right? You going to NY. For those who don't know, Spike Eskin, he's a New York Knicks fan anyway. He's a New York fan in general. And this is a big problem we have in Philly radio because of the fact that a lot of the radio guys are New York guys. They love the New York sports, so they come to Philly and start trashing on our teams and our players and everything. And it's like the fans try to back them up, and then as soon as we try to back them up, we call a bunch of haters. That's what we call. It's like, all right, well then run it. They don't want to do that either. We got dudes from New Jersey talking about some, yeah, I ball. Where you ball in New Jersey? Where you ball? I'll come to New Jersey and play with you. They get quiet. Because they don't be balling. Spike S can talk. He about, what, 110 pounds soaking? We're talking about saying he can play in the NBA. I would love to see him guarded up against a guy who's 6'4", 6'8". Talking about some Armadillo shootout on the wing. Yeah, you gonna get that shit knocked out the sky. That's what's gonna happen. And you damn sure ain't going to the basket. You ain't going to the rack. You not in the paint. You're not strong enough for that. I'm telling you, I got bars for this dude that I could really put him on. I'm telling you, and make him go back down to Kingston and get a hot shot real quick before he go down to before he go up to New York. Y'all don't want that. There's too many people now playing politics in this, and it makes no sense to me at all. And I'm sick of it. They really pissed me off with this. And I know some of y'all also had something to say in the pre-stream. I mean, if y'all can say something off your chest, fellas, go ahead and get off your chest. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh.
That's that energy, man. Let's go.
I got an issue with a specific recent fan game that just came to my attention. Here's the deal. I played this fan game. It's a very short one. It's only it's like 2 episodes. It's called Sonic Omens. Originally, it was known as Sonic 2020.
Okay.
And the original team that it was known, they were called the Mania team. And
okay.
Come to find out that they were paywalling this demo.
Paywalling a demo of a fan-made game?
Of a fan game on Patreon.
What?
So when they got caught, they tried to play it all off, and then they took all the stuff off of from the paywall side of it and put it out for everybody to play as a fan game. But the really sneaky thing was that they changed their development name, and they now call themselves Ouroboros Studios. But the ironic thing is that they're still funding the game through Patreon. And now the worst part about it is Sega knows about this
and won't do shit.
And they kind of
they're compliant.
Might have they almost have put the fan game community in jeopardy because of it.
Well,
because they can issue a
Sega
DMCA
could pull the
strike
rug out from underneath them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they like Sega could pull a Nintendo and go scorched earth on all fan games. But the really great part about it is that they came out and commented and said, we're still for fan games. We just don't like it when it's illegal. So they know.
Well, I mean, not when it's illegal. I think
they
don't want you. No. Okay, so I mean that's one way to sum it up, but the best way to sum it up is that as long as it's not monetized, you know what I'm saying? As long as you're not making money off of it, they're cool with it. But they're doing exactly the opposite of that.
Yeah, the paywall.
Yeah, but they still are. They still are.
Yeah.
You can go to their Patreon, but they changed everything. But you can still tell that they are being funded through Patreon to make this fan game.
Damn.
I mean, it has a lot of polish for a fan game. I mean,
it's great. The demo, it's great for a fan game. Like it's really well done. It
reminds me of like those demos you would get for an Xbox Live Arcade game.
Yeah,
it does have quite a bit of polish for it.
Yeah, it's got some quality to it, but the downside is that it's being funded through Patreon still.
That's ridiculous. You're still being funded by Patreon. They think this because they switch names. You know who does this a lot? A lot of channels do this a lot. Like you find out that such and such channel is owned by whatever other channel. You know what I mean? They make you feel as though there's two different companies, or make you feel that you have a decision, in versatility when you really don't.
I heard somewhere that's what I heard. I heard somewhere in the YouTube world that there's like only a handful of MCNs or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's only so many you can sign to. And I think like literally there's 3 or 4 or something. I could be wrong. I don't know enough about it, but that's just what I've heard, man. So,
anybody else got anything they want to get off their fucking chest? Like for real, before we start the real shit. Anyone else?
I'm just saying.
Oh no, that's cool. No, I get what you're saying. Fuck
I'm just saying. What you call it? Ouroboros Studios. Y'all are on notice by Sega.
Yeah.
So cut the shit out.
Cut it out. You gonna fuck it up for everybody. Go ahead.
Also, why the fuck would you want to call yourself a fucking virus from fucking Resident Evil?
Well, that should tell you. First off, that should tell you everything right there. That should tell you everything. Trying to infect everything. So it's kind of poetic justice, if you ask me.
Also, I'm drinking me a full throttle right now, so I'm firing it on all
Yeah,
cylinders.
that's right. Yeah, fire on. Got me some coffee, bro. Go ahead, fire on all fucking cylinders today.
Pew pew.
I do not care. Like, this is how we are. We already did the last one. They tried to cancel us. We were expendables in the last episode. We gonna get ready and do it again. That's how we gonna do it every time. Let's do it again. Y'all ready for the real shit? Is everybody ready?
Let's get into the real shit.
All right, so y'all know what that mean, right? What you say? Nah, I ain't say nothing. All right, don't even worry about it. Let's go.
5.
We got the countdown going.
4.
Let's get it in.
3.
Your mamas,
2.
your daddies,
1.
your nans.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Podcast station. Minute TV, a.k.a. Meat TV, a.k.a. the Iron Man out the frying pan and into the fire. I am often your imitated, but never duplicated, slightly accentuated host, and I'm here with Mr. Wing Zero. I'm here with Curious Doom. I'm here with Ben Odinson. I'm here with the Red Comet himself. Gentlemen, I have to ask y'all, how was y'all weekend?
I'd have to say mine was pretty good. I got a little bit done. Replaced the wheel bearing hub on my back right side finally.
Okay.
Too bad.
You had some problems? Were they trying to get you for that too? They trying to pull you over for that one too?
No.
Okay.
I just spent the money, got the part, swapped out something, took it off, put the new one on. I'm good.
Ah, that's good. All right.
And
Yeah,
also
man.
replaced the oven handle finally.
Oh, the company gave you back, so they finally gave you the part that you needed?
This other place did. They got the
A
correct
different part. Okay, different place gave you the other hand. So you went through all that bullshit with the other place just to send it back to Georgia, all right, when they sent it to you from Florida, and you had to go with a different company that was local, support local people,
Yep.
Support your local.
and you had no problem with it.
Mm-mm.
Ain't that some
Only
shit?
had one issue though. Tuesday I went down to try to go pick it up because they called me Monday, and we showed up there, and then they had a sign on the door that said they had to close because they had some kind of an emergency, so I wasn't able to pick it up on Tuesday. So I grabbed it yesterday
I know what type of emergency
and
they
replaced
had.
it.
They had the real emergency. They had real emergency. There was no way
You
about
got
it.
real shit. You got. Well, I was about to say you must have a real emergency if you got real shit happening. And
Well,
you
well,
have
y'all
to
saw what
abandon your
happened.
post like that.
Well, y'all saw what happened on Twitter, right? McDonald's was like, yo, don't nobody want to work because of a tall vampire lady. They literally put that on their sign.
Yeah, they did.
like,
They did.
really?
I saw that.
like,
Could
yeah,
have been
like,
it.
like,
Actually,
people
you
have
know what? I
problems
didn't even
today.
think about that. That was when. No, yeah, it could have been that. Yeah. No, it's a legitimate. I saw.
It's a
that
legitimate
post.
concern. Resident
Yeah.
Evil 8, I'm sorry, Village is a legitimate concern to McDonald's. That's where we going.
That's where we're going, man. But you know what? I'll tell you about my weekend next. Then, really, I didn't really do anything much.
You would tell us about a weekend you didn't do anything? What?
Shit. I think. Well, I'll tell you one thing that's been recent, and this has actually been going around the whole group here.
Okay.
Is we've been trying Paladins.
Yeah, we were trying Paladins. Yeah.
We've been all trying Paladins, and I think I'm finally falling into like a groove now. It takes a little bit to kind of figure out all the heroes or champions, if you will, and a lot of times, like I said, I think we all ended up playing closer towards the weekend or so. I want to say when we played, and it was fun. It was real fun. I had a lot of fun with you guys.
It's fun, but like we described before, it's like when you say, "Mommy, I want to play Overwatch," and she say, "Nah, we got Overwatch at home." And then it's Paladins. It's like, yeah, that's Overwatch at home. That's what it is.
That's a good way of putting it. It really is. But you know what though? It has its own charm.
It does.
Odinson here, he's settled nicely into a tank role. Same with Mr. Wing Zero here. He's settled into a nice tank role, which is funny because considering all of us, kind of almost every one of us that I can think of lean towards some sort of healer. I think.
Yeah.
That's
I think
most of our
Doom being the only
personalities,
kind of. Yeah, I think Doom is the only one here that he hasn't leaned towards a healer, although he does have a healer that he plays.
Yeah.
I got a healer background, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a
yeah.
healer background. I'm tired of. I'm tired of
You
playing
get
it.
tired of killing shit all the time, but even as a
Support
healer,
class.
as long as you have some type of like aggression or some type of offense, you can still, pretty much participate in all that. You can still do some damage, and I think it's the best part about paladins. But I gotta tell y'all, when we sitting there playing the whole time, I'm like, yo, fuck my character the whole time. You cannot kill a god. You cannot do this. You cannot do that.
God,
It was like I was listening to Amistad the whole fucking time. You fucking Amistad.
So in case anyone wants to know, his character that he played was Genos.
Yeah, I'm not a
from
fan.
Paladins.
Not a
And
fan.
I
But he's
guess his voice lines trigger him. The only thing I need, like, if you're gonna use him, man, we just got to figure out that whole grab that he has.
Learn to grab, and that's pretty much it.
Shit.
And, that goes against everything in my background when it comes to video games, especially when it comes to fighting games. Don't grab. House rules, don't grab. Everything's don't grab. Yeah.
No, that grab is too good to be leaving on the table though.
It's too
I
effective.
think I'll run down real quick so we can move. So we can go ahead and move along. Run down real quick who's everyone's main is real quick. Doom over here. His is Sky, big booty assassin. What was it? Korean booty slut.
You can't miss that ass. You can't. You really can't.
Booty slut and I main Furia. I recently got actually last night when Joe and when Doom and my friend Tanya and we were all playing, and I ended up getting that Gundam skin for her finally.
Oh,
so
okay.
I have that Gundam skin. It was the first roll. So I play Furia. She's like a healer, kind of really aggressive healer type. She's a blast to play. And then, of course, Event here. He's been jumping around. He's been kind of floating. I think he's leaning more towards Ying, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Ying. I like Ying. Genos, like I said, I just can't stand the VA. But if you get the remix version of him, I'm letting y'all know now, he's completely different. So, like I said, his regular skin, he sounds like fucking Amistad. As soon as you turn onto the remix skin, it sounds like a DJ from the Jersey Shore. I'm like, what happened? What the fuck happened? Like, they couldn't even keep old boy same voice and just make him do something different? They got a completely different voice. Completely different. I was like, it fucked me up. I was like, wait a minute. I felt like we was getting ready to be free from the slave. We were slaves. We meant to be free. And he pulled that shit. I was like, what the fuck?
Pull the fast one on you.
Pull a quick one. They didn't waste any time. So yeah,
that's the one thing I really appreciate is their skins like really changed their whole entire voice lines too.
Yeah.
So, it's not kind of like Overwatch. I don't know if they do that in Overwatch.
Nah,
I think it changes.
Nah.
If it's a voice filter, I mean that's all they do. They still say their same lines. They don't say anything like that has to go with whatever theme of their.
My man's can't be all god like you can't kill a god, and then all of a sudden he's like yo, what's going on? Here we go play some party. I'm like, what? Like what just happened? Like what the fuck? It's
I know
really,
exactly the skin you're talking about too.
Yeah,
I know exactly what
the
you're
remix joint. I mean, the remix is nice, but it's like you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Like you're killing me right now. Like I'll get it.
And then the other two we got Odinson here settling nicely into Khan.
Well, he might be playing another character. He
Khan!
might be playing the brand new one that just got announced.
No,
And
I'm not
it's
playing
voiced
that
by his
fucking
best
Fuck
friend.
off. No, fuck off.
He
No,
said, fuck
no,
off. He's fuck all the way off on that one, he said.
Oh, God.
I was going to, but fucking, I'm not dealing with a fucking cook young year. Fuck off.
Yeah, well, he said, you can't kill a god. God dies. Yep, that's pretty much how it works in that game.
Okay, so this is a quick breakdown of our matches, real quick. Just a quick audio clip.
Yelling at each other.
Is everyone yelling at each other? Event yelling at Ben. Ben, you can't just go run in like that.
Yeah, you
Ben,
can't.
you gotta back up, man. And then you got Cody over here just standing up. He goes, I'm on the payload. Help me. I'm over here all by myself. That's literally, he goes, I'm dying. That's literally how the fucking match goes.
It is.
Every single time.
Every match. I'm on the payload, put you in the kill box.
I'm gonna roll off to the right. I'm gonna roll off to the left. I'm gonna scout.
Yeah, I'm just roll off to the left and right. Yep.
So it's been a lot of fun for me, and like I said, especially y'all been in it. Lately it's been me and Doom and another friend that we have off screen. Her name is Tani, so we've been playing with her.
Yeah. I've been busy all week. Yeah, it's been a hell of a thing for
We
me
had a
all
good
week.
run of games last night when the three of us played.
Yeah, it was actually really good. We won we had a good 4 or 5 win streak.
Okay, that's good. That's not bad.
It's been good stuff. So that's lately what I've been up to.
Not bad. What's going on with
Perhaps
you,
mine.
Zero? What happened so far? How was your
Oh, boy.
weekend?
My
I think.
weekend was fucking
Yeah, he had a pretty
great.
good weekend. Too,
Oh
I
yeah,
believe.
he did, didn't he?
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Oh boy, my weekend was fucking great, son. I don't know if the chat watched, but these guys watched the tournament that I was a part of for
Yeah.
Fatal Fury Special.
Yeah, let me give you a round of applause for that one. Yeah, made top 8. Congratulations. Yeah.
top 8, dude.
It's nice
Not
to see
bad.
people do their
Congrats.
thing.
Heard a
Yeah.
whole bunch of turn it on, turn it on.
Yeah,
Yes, your boy here, Axel Hulk, made top 8
yeah.
in Fatal Fury Special.
Oh, now you ask the Hawk. Okay. Because all I saw was a bunch of boxers punching each other in the shins. I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? I was like, does no one block low? It's like
Let me
taking
tell
all
you
over
something.
again.
Thank you, chat. Thank you. Let me tell y'all something. See, everyone was cheering me on. Even the people that was doing commentary, because my boy Beast was doing commentary, and
Uh-huh.
he's the one that he's one of the people that trained me in Fatal Fury Special, made me into a killing machine. So, seeing New York and everyone else at that chat that had my back and cheered me on, I was happy.
That's how
like-
community works.
You know, and I had these guys back me up too. So, you know, unlike a certain sponsor that me and event were a part of,
Oh.
they didn't.
Oh, no.
Alright, okay.
I didn't, hold on.
Came for the win. Like just like
I
right
did not
there.
expect that shit to happen.
Wow.
Woo!
No, that's some real talk shit, man. Because like I said, the day of my birthday that passed on April,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I said, ruthless fucking aggression.
Oh, here we
Just
go.
start.
Like
I
look.
said, I'm back in the competition.
Oh,
and I'm part of the competition. So I'm gonna be back for Soul Calibur 6. Best believe that shit.
Yo, Cody was straight up like, he didn't care for some reason. I'm like, damn, Cody, what's up with you with that? Cody was just
I've
like,
got balls of steel.
I just don't understand it, man. Like, I didn't, yo.
I got my motivation back. I got my motivation back.
Well, I mean, it's all good. You're supposed to have motivation. What did I keep telling everybody? The worst thing you could do to people is motivate them. That's the worst thing you could do. When you give them some motivation, man, they take off. They take off.
Yeah, they sure the hell do.
That's what
I can
people do. I didn't expect that part, but goddamn, I mean,
Yeah, he just
but
said
Cody,
straight up,
I-
unlike
woo.
Especially a certain fucking someone that fucking made me fucking do a match at that Soul Calibur tournament.
Oh, here
boy.
we go.
Oh, boy.
See,
This is a big one.
oh
Taking it
man.
down.
Oh shit.
You know, look,
Rush.
he's a
Oh,
friend of the
this is
show.
the wound.
Look, he's a friend of the show. I wouldn't really go into that. I can't defend anything. I don't like I said, there's a lot of politics and that type of stuff. But goddamn. Like, goddamn. Like,
Yeah, you ain't listen to him.
I'm ready for the competition. I'm back in the competition. I got a couple of friends that do play Soul Calibur, so I'm gonna get back into the grind. And for Fatal Fury Special, the next time they do fucking another one, best believe I'll be back for that one too. They want me back.
well, I told y'all before that New York always watches out for themselves. They always support their own. They make sure. So if you fuck up with New York, you might as well just go sit down. You might as well. And that's what
Yeah,
it comes
you're
down
gonna need
to.
to get that. You're gonna need to
Yeah.
get that clip. Where's your motivation?
Yeah. God damn. Like, woo. I mean, look, I put it like this. Soul Calibur, I'm a fan of Soul Calibur. I'm a fan of all. See, we get ready to talk FGC shit. I don't want to go there just yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go there.
I'll say this.
They
I
making me.
played against Wing Zero and Soul Calibur 6, and man, he fucking kicked my ass.
Look, I will put it like this.
He's good. He's definitely good.
Wing
in that
Zero's
game. Like,
good.
That's no lie.
He's good, but he's still missing out on that good when it comes to that Gundam. I'm just saying.
Good.
That he missing out on
He's
that
still
good.
good.
You know
Oh,
what
we're
I'm
still
saying?
gonna have that Gundam fight. We're still
Oh,
gonna have that
shit.
Gundam fight.
You keep saying you
worry.
want to have it, but you're not gonna have it, B. You don't want no smoke with
Oh,
me.
we're gonna have it.
You don't want no smoke
gonna
with me,
have it.
fam. You don't want no smoke with me. You know
You're
that.
gonna get yours in Gundam event.
You keep telling y'all you know what, y'all keep saying that shit, but you don't want no smoke with me. Don't nobody want to pop off with me because
Oh,
y'all
no.
know what's gonna happen. Y'all know what's gonna happen.
I do want the smoke.
You say you want
okay.
the
I
smoke.
don't know
You
what you're talking about.
say you want the smoke. Everybody always says they want the smoke, but afterwards nobody
Fuck
says
him.
anything.
Gotcha, bitch.
That's all it is.
Let's go.
Look here, brother.
Let's go.
He called me brother. Hold on, what, you Hulk Hogan now? Listen here, Titus.
Let's go, bro. Hello,
Rico,
Richard, bro.
Rico's all take us all. Rico, sit your ass down. You ain't gonna play us in no damn Gundam. You play some Smash.
We're gonna get to that Gundam match soon.
Listen, it is what it is. Like, hey, look, you know me. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna do me, and ain't no one gonna stop me. The only people who can stop me is if I decide to let you stop me. That's it. These guys didn't train me way too well to not be able to get to anybody.
You trained me quite well how to use Goof, and I'll use it again.
I was trained to be a killer machine too.
Yeah, you a killer machine, but you not me. There's levels to this, man. There's levels.
Was a giant shield chopper?
That was
that
was the whole thing, man. Like teaching y'all, like mentoring y'all how to work together in Gundam, and now I gotta teach y'all how to kill each other.
Look, Prince talking about so he called me out in Mario Kart. He damn sure did call me out in Mario Kart, and I dusted him. Look, he said he's still salty over it. He's still salty. Guess what? I'll dust him again too if I wanted to. I don't even play Mario Kart like that. You know what I'm saying? Not anymore. But guess what? I know people who can dust me in Mario Kart. That's why I don't talk that much about Mario Kart. You know what I'm saying? When we get together, there's some guys I'll be like, yo, I can't catch them. What the fuck I gotta do to catch them? You know what I mean? So I definitely
exactly
understand.
what I was about to say. I can't talk shit in Mario Kart.
Yeah, I don't think that many people can talk shit in Mario Kart because you know some shit be random.
I'm an OG fan. I'm an OG fan of Mario Kart. Mario Kart 64 is my game.
Hey, old ass game.
I do wanna say this.
Nah, we're not talking about the 64. If you don't have the latest Mario Kart on the Switch, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. You're not.
I don't have it. I don't have it.
Well, he don't have it.
Have it.
To be fair though, mine came with it, so mine came with it.
You should.
Mine.
But yeah, you got to get. It's a whole different story. Whole different story. With Mario Kart. So yeah, like I said, random shit can happen to you depending on the road, especially Rainbow Road. It depends. So you really can't talk much in Mario Kart, but so much because something bad will happen. You know what I'm saying?
I want to say this though, man. Like I said, I do thank all of y'all for backing me up at that tournament. I haven't felt that much alive since COVID happened.
Yeah,
so
COVID hurt a lot of people, and competition-wise, and it really pained me to see that people weren't competing at a time when I really felt it was needed during COVID. It kept people sane. Like anytime Animal Crossing can keep people sane, why are people not getting their work in? That's what I was trying to figure out. Everyone, and of course, FGC being FGC dropped the ball, fucked up everything, so there was nothing. Now they're trying to make a comeback. To be honest, I'm liking the old retro games. I'm liking all the old retro tournaments because, as far as I'm concerned, that's what's always been the life force of the FGC. It's not what have you done for me lately. It's what has duration. How long can you go back and say, hey, I can still do this? You know what I mean? Like for me, that's a big deal. It's not even about nostalgia as much as it is about substance. And for me, it was a great tournament to watch for me. I put that shit on my big screen and watched that shit with no problem. So
yeah, same thing. I watched it on my TV as well. It was pretty entertaining to watch. Cody get in top 8 and play his match.
Yeah.
He's done amazingly well.
I can't wait for the next Fate of Fury tournament. I'm gonna be ready for that one too. Like I said.
How many people were signed up through that whole entire tournament though?
27.
27.
27.
27. That's a lot. That's a lot for a tournament. Some people only can break 12 at a time. Mario Kart though, last time I saw Mario Kart live at a tournament, they had like 120 something people. Like damn, they was ready to play, boy. They was ready. So I mean, hey Ben, Odin's son, how was your weekend?
Yeah. Well, we could talk about one later on because we won't talk about now. But
okay.
Well, as it comes for the playing Paladins, I've been doing that a little bit more in secret because I'm trying to grind to get 120,000 gold because I want to try and get Khan and.
You've been on grind all weekend? You've been on grind all weekend?
No, not all weekend. There's been bits and pieces and watching some YouTube. Getting my laptop finally, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, well, I told you. I tried to tell you about Dell. I tried to tell all y'all about Dell. Right? I tried.
It's only for temporary. It's only temporary.
All right.
Yeah, kind of get someone else in the future, but yeah,
Well,
it's
I
just.
thought-
got
did
a
you
proper
end up
gaming
getting-
PC.
I think it's just a dull, shitty one. GTX 1650, I think it is. I'm not too sure. It's a
Super Saiyan 2.
yeah, Super Saiyan 2 laptop. I
Okay.
think it's fine.
Super
It's only too special.
laptop.
Yeah, because I think we saw a new review from the guy Dave 2D.
Yeah.
It's basically an upgraded version of the laptop I have, and that thing's got a 3070 in it.
Like
So 3070 for around the same price. That's a damn good bargain.
Yeah, and it's got the latest Ryzen processor in it too. It's got the 5th generation.
That blast processor.
Well, I mean, at least y'all got some good. Y'all had some good. It seems like y'all had a good weekend. But my weekend,
It wasn't bad.
my weekend, baby. You should have known how this was gonna go. My weekend. All right. You got to be
There we
kidding me. First off, we're starting off. All right. With Chelsea. You don't know how it's going to get there. Yeah, we're going to get into it. Chelsea, not only did they beat Man City, but I mean, let's take it back just a couple. They beat Real Madrid. I told y'all they was going to beat that garbage-ass Real Madrid. Then they go out there and they put it to Man City. They put the screws to their asses. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this is how Chelsea's going to be. You know what I'm saying? And then United fans want to get a little salty. Oh, you didn't do nothing. We'll handle it in the next one because we stopped Man City from winning the cup. That day we stopped them from winning the cup. Then what happened? Manchester United decided, all right, we're just going to lay down to them. We're going to lay down to them. Like how that's going to look. Chelsea was on a streak. On a streak. So, of course, my weekend was good. However, what happened on Wednesday.
Bad news.
Yeah, he got some bad news for me. Yeah, so then they play Arsenal, the Gunners. Now, let me tell you something. The Gunners suck. They suck. They suck. They're trash. They shouldn't even be. I want to hear that they suck. Yeah, you suck. All right. London is blue, whether you like it or not. We own the dividing line. You guys are now in 8th place because of what happened. 8th. When's the last time you had a star that could do some shit? That's what I want to know.
Well, when you can actually get Fernando Torres back in for the
I'm not worried about Fernando Torres. Look. You guys played so bad against us. Like they parked the fucking bus in front of the goalkeeper. They didn't. Time possession was horrible. Chelsea had 17 shots on your net. All y'all did was stay right in front of the goalkeeper so we couldn't score. Shit, we bullied y'all so goddamn bad that we scored. We didn't score on ourselves. I mean,
to be fair, it would have been 2-0. But
it shouldn't have been 2-0. No, if we're talking some recorded goals here, some really close ones, like the double shot off the crossbar, yo, we should have beat y'all at least 4-1. And y'all shouldn't even got that one. We should have smoked y'all. We bullied y'all. But here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing. I got a problem with the fucking manager because I don't know if anybody heard what happened on why they played the way they played. The manager had said before they came out the tunnel that his mind wasn't on the game of Arsenal. That he was worried about Saturday against Leicester City. That's what he was worried about. That's what his mind was on. Yeah.
Manchester City isn't even a fucking threat. Like, what the fuck? You should be more focused on the
one game at a time. One game at a time. That's all you got to do. Yeah. That's all you need to do. One game at a time. He worried about Saturday. So Leicester City is in our manager's head now. And I'm like, why are you going to give him that rent-free space? That makes no sense.
You just can't. And I'm also wondering why was Warner not in the team, like in the beginning, because he wasn't there, and your formation was pretty shitty, to be honest.
To be honest, I thought the formation was good. Our corners were bad.
Yeah.
That's why we were supposed to keep Willian, but they wanted to get rid of him. Our corners were bad. I thought our formations were fine. I thought our lanes were fine. I thought we had enough opportunities to win that game, and they blew it. And then you have Arsenal, the one player literally laid down on the pitch to change his fucking socks while time was running. Are you serious?
Yep.
To change his fucking socks. They did more changing fucking socks than they did advancing. They didn't push. They didn't counter. They didn't do anything. Arsenal just sat there and milked and prayed to God that time would run out. That's all he did.
So they were trying to burn the clock for changing socks?
Yeah, they did everything they could. They faked injuries, they changed, but don't get me wrong, Chelsea did the same thing. There were some guys who were flopping pretty hard.
We saw you fucking trying to get a penalty. You fucking shits.
Yeah, try to get a penalty, and when you get the penalty, what do you do? He popped right back up and wanted to get back in position. We had more offside. We had more no contested goals than we did our goalkeeper. Kepa had saves. That's ridiculous. Our goalkeeper was barely touched. He had a light day.
But at the end of the day, your manager is shit. You need to get rid of him. Because if that's his end game, then you're playing shit. And I would even say Mikel Arteta needs to go as well. I'm not a fan of him at the moment.
Yeah, I didn't like the way he said the manager. You can see on his face. He was like, "Yo, is it almost over? Is it almost over?" He kept going over to the ref. He's like, "Yo, it's over. Is it over yet?" Yeah. His face, he was sweating bullets. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, I was very upset with the game. I thought both teams played like shit, even though Chelsea still pushed. I felt they still played like shit too because nothing come from it, nothing. So both teams' fans was just like, "What do we do here?" And then was it Man U? They had to have their game they had their game rescheduled, didn't they? Because the fans were protesting. So the fans were protesting, so they had to change venues or some shit like that, didn't they? I don't know, but
I think so.
Yeah. So but still, it was a good weekend that led up into up to this week. We see talk about a women's Super League, which you can fuck right off with that.
Yeah,
fuck off completely. Yeah. For those on those shouts to the Chelsea women, they won again. They won it. They got the cup. But it's like you gotta be fucking kidding. They don't boo. Fuck a boo. I ain't trying to hear that shit. All right, I told y'all we are a complete team. We are a complete franchise that is good.
It's over.
I'm just letting you know. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying it doesn't matter if it's the men or the women. We winning. You can put the mascots out there. We gonna win. I'm just letting you know. So y'all better get ready for that shit. I'm just letting you know. Y'all better get ready. But the Super Women's League, fuck off. Y'all didn't learn from the regular Super League that they tried to push with the men's? And that has such backlash. Now you talk about a women's Super League? Don't even utter the fucking words. Don't even.
Well, did you see the t-shirts they were trying to sell? They were charging like 40 quid for the Super League in the originally.
Now they're charging £4. You know, trying to hear that. And us fans, let me tell you something. What's her name? Abdo. They came for her. The fans came for her for some reason earlier last week, and everyone stood up and was like, "Nah, we're not having that. What's wrong with you? We're not having that, fam." So yeah, trolls got bodied by fans of hers, and I was just like, "No, they right. She fine as shit. Ain't no one gonna say nothing." Like, So yeah, Super League, they deserve to get dunked on. They deserve to. Fuck them. But,
absolutely.
Yeah, but let's stick with, because me and Odinson here, we had quite a little bit of experience with what happened over on Twitter. What happened, and this was requested by the fans last week. I'm sorry, not last week. Last pod we did. They wanted us to talk a little bit about boxing, so let's talk about British boxing for a minute and American boxing. Canelo versus BJ Saunders. All right. First off, I want to make it very known, painfully known, that I do not like BJ Saunders. I don't. And I don't give a fuck what he thinks. I really don't. So let me hit this bell real quick for him. All right. The reason I'm bringing that in is because his ass got knocked the fuck out pretty much. TKO. He quit on the stool. Now, for the reason he quit on the stool, I don't have a problem with. Because Canelo punched him so fucking hard, it shattered his cheekbone and messed up his eye in 3 different places, was it? Something like that?
Yeah.
So,
and
yeah. But here's the problem I have with it. BJ Saunders, you went after Daniel Du Bois not too long ago for quitting on the stool when his eye was messed up. I think you owe him a fucking apology. You owe him a big fucking apology. All right? But we know BJ Saunders is like this. When he's not in the ring, he acts like a complete shitheel. We know that. Messing with crackheads and saying, "I got money for you," and all that. Like, he's been suspended so many times and fined so many times.
Treated as like a show or something?
He's a piece of shit. Yeah, he's all around piece of shit. He's got his son coming to the weigh-ins to punch guys in the balls. Like, come on, man. Come on. What's wrong with you, fam? They think it's okay. When Wilder was in London, were they in Nando's when it happened? I think it was in there. I'm not sure if it was in Nando's or not. But he went over there and started fucking with them while they were eating, and then ran out of the restaurant while Wilder tried to chase him. Like, yeah, his career is done. He got his payday. He asked for this fight for fucking years. Oh, Canelo ducking me. Well, you got what you wanted, and you got your ass whipped. He wasn't trying to take it at first because the money wasn't right. Then he complained that the ring was too small because he couldn't dance around that bitch and run, because that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to run around. Canelo ain't gonna have that shit. Canelo gonna come right to you punching your shit. That's what he gonna do. So BJ Saunders deserved that shit.
BJ Saunders sounds like Brock Lesnar when he was fighting.
Yeah.
He always complained.
Now, the problem I have with all this is...
How many rounds did they go?
It didn't go to distance, I'll tell you that shit. It didn't go to distance. I knew it was going to go distance. You know? Saunders got some good shots in, but y'all should know Canelo got a chin like granite. That shit ain't going to hurt him. So, y'all should know that. But here's the bad part about it. While I'm sitting here dunking all over fucking BJ Saunders, Ring Magazine, they came out and was like, Saunders doesn't have, like, live when it happened. They was like, Saunders doesn't have no heart. He quit on the stool. You can't say that.
Boxing magazine, correct?
A boxing magazine, historic boxing magazine. And you saying some shit like that on Twitter while a man is in the middle of fighting and his face is busted. I mean, you can clearly tell something's fucking wrong, that he got to quit.
And it's completely unprofessional.
Completely unprofessional from a magazine. Look, I expect it from people from Twitter because there's a lot of trolls out there. You got a lot of guys who think they can beat real fighters and shit like that. I get that. They gonna say their shit. They gonna get their shit off. But they're not held accountable because of who they are. Ring Magazine is held accountable because of who they are. The professional outlet. And then when they tried to apologize, they half-assed the apology. Well, it was some intern. It wasn't none of our editorial staff. Bullshit. It was so. Because you're not just going to hand over the keys to the Corvette to an intern that helps on Twitter. I'm not trying to hear that shit.
Yeah, it's not going to be an intern. It's going to be edited out, and you're going to put it up to someone else higher up on the editor to finalize.
Yeah, you got to put that on the editor. You got to put that on whoever, you know. First off, it's whoever. Like I said, Ring Magazine here in Philadelphia. It's the same people here in Philadelphia. They have a tendency of doing this a lot. They always question our fighters. Oh, he doesn't look like he's in the greatest of shape when it comes to his stamina or whatever. And then when you find out the writer who's writing the shit is like 275, 250 or whatever, completely out of shape, looked like he couldn't run a block himself. So who the fuck are you to judge someone else's stamina who's at an elite level, a 1%er level, and fighting? I'm not trying to hear that shit. So yeah, I got a problem with that. And because of that, they blocked me. I was like, okay, you can block me all you want. That shit don't faze me. But then Odin's went at him.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you just, did a casual, hey, you probably shouldn't do that, and then they just blocked your ass.
I did a casual, hey, you shouldn't try to judge fighters like that, because I work with fighters every fucking day. I know how it feels. Some of these guys already don't have nothing, let alone you come around to fucking punch them down and kick them down while they're already down. That's bullshit. And then so I offered them. I was very nice about it. I offered them. I was like, hey, won't you come by, and, do a training session so you know how it really feels, so you get the real experience. You can even write, you can write an article on it if you want. And they blocked me. I'm like, all right, well, fuck you then. It's not like I was yelling at them or calling them a bunch of names. Yeah.
Somebody said that the paws are soft.
They soft as baby shit. Y'all should know this by now. I don't want to bring them up, man. It was funny to see Mayweather's hat get taken, though. But I'm just saying that, like, they soft as baby shit. How the fuck Logan Paul going to be 0-1 and he lost to KSI twice and you going to fight one of the best ever? And then he try to say it's bragging rights? What the fuck Floyd got to prove? That he can make 10 mil like it's nothing to it? And just walk him down, carry him around? That's stupid. I'm not watching that shit. Come on, man.
Everyone's going to get robbed just like the last fight.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
the last one,
they're just going to laugh all the way to the bank.
That's all it is. It's a laugh all the way to the bank. I'm not buying it. I'm not falling for it. I'm not illegally streaming it. I'm not looking at it at all.
We're both getting paid kind of shit.
Yeah, we both getting paid. That's it.
Really what it is. It's
that's
we're just going to put on this fake ass show. We're going to pay each other and fool everyone else.
Pretty much a fucking
they're both there for a fucking payday.
I just don't understand.
A glorified grift, if you would.
It is a glorified. See, look, first off, I have a really big problem with boxing letting these guys in. You got rich kids doing rich kid things. When there are facilities that need funding, that can't get people to stay open because, first off, COVID fucked up a lot of things. For y'all who don't know, there's people who don't there's facilities that don't have cleaning staff. You should see the toilets.
Yikes.
You have people who don't even have a manager anymore. You should see who just walks in on their own, like homeless people taking advantage and shit. There is a lot of facilities here, at least here, I'm speaking about here in Philadelphia, that need help. When is Jake or Logan going to donate to any of those type of facilities?
They won't.
They won't, because they don't give a fuck. They're rich kids already that could change the way boxing. Oh, they're doing boxing a favor. No, the fuck they're not. They're doing themselves a favor while exploiting the sport.
Like, even that boxing video you mentioned, like, they could have changed the fucking way how it's being perceived, because there's so much corruption in boxing.
Yeah.
And that alone, other sports.
Oh yeah.
You're
You're totally right about that.
It takes so much to train. And then to see these guys get out there and to see their form, to see how they throw punches, it's like, bruh, you need to go back to the gym. You've obviously only had 1 or 2 months, maybe 3 months, 3 months max of training. That ain't shit. That's nothing. Your average person, when they start boxing, at minimum, have to be at least 6 months. At minimum. I don't care if you're gifted. I don't care if you're athletic. 6 months minimum. And it's crazy to see that they just got the pass. Because I got fans and I got a camera and I can do dumb shit. All right, we'll let you in because you're a draw. It's not about boxing. It's about the money. And not all money is good money.
Well, it's also the bad things like perceived with them as well. It's not just the good press; it's also the bad press, because they're allowing people who laughed at people in Japan who would commit suicide.
Same people, and now they're saying they're reformed. They're reformed. I don't want to hear that shit. They're not reformed. They just got a different hustle.
You're not doing a show on Michael's going to I'm a bad person, but I've seen blank.
I've seen, like the Justin Bieber thing. He was like, I fucked up all the time, but now I'm reading the Bible and I'm good now. Fuck out of here! I'm gonna put Martin Luther King on was it in my insert in my album. Please buy it. Fuck out of here!
Yeah, that was their quote unquote aha moment.
Yeah, it really was. So I'm telling y'all, the lifestyle. Like I said, I deal with these guys. Like I said, even after this pod, I gotta go to the gym, and they're gonna be fighting today. You ain't gonna see a Logan Paul there. You're not gonna see a Jake Paul there. But there's gonna be guys there with grit who gonna be punching the shit out of each other. Because that's how bad they want it. These boys don't want it like that. Logan Paul already said, if I beat Floyd Mayweather, I'm retiring. That's what he said. He don't want it.
Oh, fuck off.
He don't want it.
Mayweather want to punch him in the face.
He don't want it.
Mayweather's gonna drag his ass.
Jake Paul's scared to take a punch. He's scared shitless. You saw that with Nate Robinson. You gonna fight a guy that's half your size, but you scared to take a punch from him? Even a jab? You supposed to stand tall and be able to take that shit. If you trust in your guard, you can take that shit. It's a jab.
It's actually been a real fight.
He should be waiting the counter. He should be setting him up the counter. He should be setting him up.
Yeah.
And he didn't, because he don't know how to set people up. He don't know how to trap people, because that's part of the sport. That's part of the science. He don't know.
Strategy.
That's why I said every time he run his mouth, I'm like, why don't you come in the ring with me? I'll make you look like a fucking fool.
Do it to a Jones card game. Let's go.
How did the old history of boxing, like, wasn't boxing also kind of like they would purposely rig fights so other like mob bosses and crime lords and stuff would pay each other?
Organized crime was very heavy in boxing back in the day. And to be honest, they have their own type of
just
organized
like basketball
crime.
too, right?
Yeah, they would rig fights. People would have to take dives. People who didn't listen, bad things got happen to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they all sleep with fishes.
Yeah, there's a number of stories out there throughout history that organized crime had their hands in boxing. And to be honest, I think that organized crime just went legit. Every time you see something Vegas or some bookie puts up something, guess what? That's organized crime. You think that people are just going to... You think these guys who make millions of dollars a year doing this, if not billions a year doing this, if you don't think they already know that how the odds are going to be, how it's going to play out, that's why I didn't like Canelo, BJ Saunders. You knew Canelo was going to win. You knew that. Given the skills, given the stats, given everything, it was a one-sided fight. Saunders just wanted the money. He really didn't want the fight because look, if he wanted to get his title back that he dropped, he'd have fought. Boo Boo? He'd have fought him back for his title, but he didn't want to do that. Nah. See, this goes back to Frank Warren as well. And that's the thing they're talking about now. Said about boxing authorities have been so eager to get on their knees. Yeah, for people like Jake Paul. Yeah, because they're looking for the next moneymaker. That's all it is. They don't care about the sport. They trying to get paid. I found it real funny how Eddie Hearn, and I don't like that motherfucker, not one bit. All right? Eddie Hearn and them trashed people who used to do fighting in their backyard fights, right? They used to trash it. Dana White trashed it. Eddie Hearn trashed it. As soon as fucking COVID hit, what happened? Here come these motherfuckers doing the same shit. Eddie Hearn, because he got millions of dollars and he got a mansion and everything, put a real boxing ring in his backyard talking about they're going to fight here. But I thought you hated backyard fights. I thought you hated it. It's the same shit.
It's bad, though. Dana
White went all Enter the Dragon on us. All Mortal Kombat on us. Oh, we're going to have a fight island. We're going to isolate them to an island and fight. He went real Enter the Dragon on us.
We need Raiden. He needs him to save us.
I'm just saying
Are you sure it wasn't Kung Pao instead? And
it really felt like it. I mean, it was ridiculous to see these guys eat their fucking words. They're fucking hypocrites. That's what they are.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting to see how it's being run. Like I said, I love boxing, but man, it makes me want to get out of boxing so bad due to the fact that all this shit is going on. If you just hear the conversations that we have when we're at the facility, it's like, God, damn.
Well, just like you said, I mean, you know, it comes back to the whole, like you were saying earlier, with the Paul brothers doing rich kid shit.
It is.
No one's doing anything for the local scene.
No.
And just like you said, it's all about the money. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, you summed it up pretty well. And they're just gonna go where the money is.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
They don't care about the people. They don't care about the people. They don't care about the sport. They don't care about the lifestyle. I can tell you now, I know at least 5 guys right now that got problems with staying out of jail. But guess what keeps them out of jail? Boxing.
Boxing.
That keeps them out of jail.
Boxing.
This is where I have like a problem, because the training, like I assume that boxing and wrestling are pretty much the same, how it's run, and the bullshit happens there, and I just have huge concerns with the well-being of people when it comes to like your mental health, physical health as well, because you're really doing too much to your body.
Yeah.
Especially in the trains.
You're doing a lot. You are.
Mm.
You take a beating doing that shit just to prove that you belong. You really do.
They teach you how to land properly, like to not hurt your nose or anything.
I put it like this: there is a when you're a coach, you can't just be a boxing coach. You also got to be a guru. You got to be in their head. You got to be their best friend. You got to be their daddy. You got to be everything in order to get the best results out of them. So seeing these guys being so undisciplined and getting in the ring and acting a damn fool and dancing and carrying on, that pisses me off a lot. Maybe I'm just too old school, but I'm waiting for results.
I remember you telling a story a long time ago saying that, you know, when you were training some young kids for boxing, and that, you know, when the parents couldn't afford some of the equipment, you bought and paid
I still
out
do
of
it.
your own pocket for them.
I still do it. And the parents, they got the nerve, because I follow the parents on their Instagram or whatever, so I can stay in contact with them just in case they need me if they can't get me through my phone.
Right.
They're posting pictures on Instagram, I'm popping bottles, and hey, you wish we was living like this and living like that. I'm thinking to myself, you live with 7 other people. Your son don't even have his own room. He sleeps on the couch. What you mean you wish you had it like this? What is wrong with y'all? Like, I just don't understand it. I don't get it. If it's really like that, you'd be out of a bad area. You'd be out the projects. You wouldn't stay in the projects. You wouldn't stay in the hood. You'd be living somewhere nice. But it's 7 of y'all living in a fucking house. Some of them not even finishing high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's enough to make you tear your hair out. It's probably why I'm going bald. You know what I mean? Like, it's enough, man. It's enough. Like, damn.
You about ready to move on to the next topics?
Yeah. Let's move on, man. Jesus Christ. Venom. Let's talk about it, baby. Let's talk about it. I am so happy.
I like that trailer. That was a good movie trailer.
Look, I want to give a round of applause for Venom. I want to give a round of applause for that trailer. It did its job. Now, here's the problem I got with Venom, okay? They showed everything that you probably wanted to see. All right? Yep. They did.
Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, yeah, they showed the good parts in the trailer.
All the symbolism in the parts. Crushing, was it Cletus Cassidy crushing the spider, talking about heroes not being there. Clearly a reference to Spider-Man. Crushing the spider. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell he's nuts. The problem I have is with people in comics who think that they're really not even part of comics, but they posing like they are. Talk about Woody Harrelson doesn't look like Cletus Kasady. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious in this one? Talking about, I don't know if he can.
I thought he looked pretty good.
He looks like fucking Carnage.
He looks identical to him. If you look at the comics, he's absolutely the spitting image of him. And then they talk about, we don't know if he can play a crazy role. He done played crazy all his fucking life. Natural born killers. He done played everything.
One of the cool things is that Carnage is actually my favorite villain.
I think they're going to do some justice to Carnage. The only thing I don't want to see in this movie is them kill off Carnage, because I need to see maximum Carnage happen. I need to see Carnage happen against Venom and Spider-Man. I need to see that. I don't care what Spider-Man
did. Both of them to bring Carnage down.
If I remember correctly, there was some kind of something. There was a leak that they showed of the set, and Tom Holland was on the set.
I'm hoping he is.
So that might be the part they're not showing in the trailer. Because I remember I read some kind of news about Tom Holland spotted on the set of There Will Be Carnage.
Maybe like they're hinting towards that situation then, because he's currently going to be left on Disney, I think, by this end of this year, next year.
Yeah, this whole thing with Disney and Sony, we know that they have a bad relationship. We know that. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, just not too long ago, Sony sold, they sold like their stars, their channels like Stars and stuff like that. They put it on, I believe, on their own app. And like, if you want to watch the old Spider-Mans or Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 and them, you got to go to that app to get it. You can't go to Disney Plus to get that stuff. Sony not having this. And now Netflix just bought that out. So now Spider-Man will be coming to Netflix. That's what they're doing.
That's good. I'm happy for that.
Tobey Maguire movies, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, the Tobey Maguire ones and Andrew Garfield ones. They're on there. Yeah, so they're eventually slowly going to go to Netflix. They're not going to Disney
Garfield.
Plus.
He had a really good career to play Spider-Man until he fucked that all up himself.
Yeah, I didn't think he was a good Spider-Man anyway. I think he was a good Spider-Man.
Yeah, I thought he was. Yeah.
I thought at the end of Part 2. Yeah, I thought at the end of Part 2 he was good as Spider-Man. Yeah. Like when he fights Rhino, I thought he was good. In that part alone.
But I didn't like as far as for Spider-Man's, I do like Tom Holland as the current Spider-Man.
I think Tom Holland is the Spider-Man we deserve.
Perfect.
I think he's the one. I think Toby set the blueprint. And then Tom Holland came along and was like, no, this is I'll take the blueprint, but I'm gonna run with it and evolve it. And I think that's what Tom Holland's done.
I think Tom Holland was a lot better in the second movie. I didn't really care for the first one so much. I think it was trying too hard. I
went back this week and I watched Homecoming and I watched Far From Home, and I can't find a reason why not to like these movies. I can't. He's Iron Man Jr. No, the fuck he's not. They're tying up the arc so he can be himself. That's the entire point of Far From Home.
Did anyone notice in Far From Home, in one scene where he's scanning with the little Tony Stark glasses?
Yeah, Edith glasses.
There's someone on the boat. That there was someone on the boat named Matt Gargan.
I have to go.
Did anyone notice that?
I have to go back and look at that one.
There's someone named like it shows like when he's scanning for someone. There's a passenger on that boat or whatever. One of the criminals is named Matt Gargan. If you remember who Matt Gargan is in Spider-Man, that's the Scorpion.
Well,
yes.
That's right because Comet's he's a big Spider-Man fan.
Oh.
Well,
Bruce is gonna because Bruce
so he caught that.
Kid.
I had no idea who that was.
Well, who's gonna play Scorpion then?
I don't know, but I just remember seeing that in there. It's in there. If you look, you'll see it. There's a scene where there's Matt Gargan.
No one wants to take a shot at who will play Scorpion. No one.
Man, I have no idea who could, but I do know one thing. His name is John C. Venom timeline and everything. If you remember the comics, Matt Gargan, for a while, he becomes Venom for a bit.
Well, I mean, we do have Eddie Brock. I think Eddie's enough for Venom. I think Eddie's enough. I think they should stick with that arc.
But again, I think what they're gonna do is that they're gonna bring him in as a Scorpion.
Okay, so
well, we had Shocker. We've got Shocker. We've got Scorpion coming. We've had Mysterio. Okay. All right. We've had Mysterio. We've had I don't know. I don't know if they're going to top the arc. I mean, we know that the next Spider-Man coming out, we know that they're going to do a multiverse, Spider-Verse. So we know Doc Ock is coming back.
The title's called No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home, and we know that Doc Ock is coming back. We know this.
We need Sinister Six. We need that. Bring about the Sinister Six. Fuck yeah. I want that so much.
I think the next movie is going to be crazy. I mean, we know that Madam Web is getting ready to get her own thing. We know that Doctor Strange is going to be in the next Spider-Man. I mean, this is going to be. It's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be balls to the wall crazy.
It's got a way to end the MCU partnership as well.
No, I don't think so at all.
You know, I was thinking about the the title of the movie, No Way Home. Maybe that has to do with tie in with the multiverse.
Well, it is going to, but I'm hoping that No Way Home doesn't mean they're going to do one more day. I'm hoping they're not going to do that.
What's one more day?
Oh my God! Oh my God! You want to give me a heart attack right now? One More Day was one of the worst Spider-Man arcs ever. All right. After Spider-Man, yes, I'm saying it.
Let me guess. The writer was Dan Slott.
No. This is something that with Spider-Man. It was one of those things where they killed off Aunt May. Okay. Mary Jane and Spider-Man were on a run. This is after Civil War because they found out who Peter Parker was, and as you know, in Far From Home, you find out who Peter Parker, who Spider-Man is, at the end of it, in credits. So it's like, okay, now everybody knows who you are. So how many people are going to be on a run? Peter Parker had to send, Mary Jane away on a bus to get away because the Kingpin got Aunt May killed. Spider-Man broke into jail to fight the Kingpin. He took off the suit and put on the black suit. He went back in black just for that arc. The arc was great until they decided to retcon it, which is One More Day. So they changed it completely. Like they took a good situation they had and they didn't know where to go with it afterwards and decided, okay, we got to get him out of this dark place. No, let's see him operate through this. Let's see how he really gets through it. But we never got that.
Yeah, because
they retconned.
Yeah, because dealing with that shit, man, you'd fucking be flipping. You'd probably turn yourself into a villain after that.
Yeah, well, hey, if you're here, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, right?
Yeah,
but I mean,
that's true.
But I'm hoping that this trailer that we've seen with Venom and Carnage, that this really opens up the world for them. And I don't think this is going to be the end of MCU contracts. No, I think they're just going to fuse it. I think they really need to.
Yeah, I think
it'll eventually probably come to a head. They'll probably, merge them all in. Sony will give in.
Well, I mean, look, we're at this point. I don't know if anyone has noticed, but we're kind of looking at a Sinister Six movie here. We're kind of getting that.
So much.
Yep.
Well, maybe it's leaning towards it. Maybe.
Well,
long term.
Speaking of more Spider-Man news, I mean, we should talk about this. Some more Spider-Man. For those who don't know, Amazing Spider-Man issue number 601. J. Scott Campbell. That's right. Apparently, has been unearthed again, and of course, meme the hell. But people are upset because of
cover.
Yep, because people are mad at Mary Jane Watson's pose in the cover, and fixing a professional artist's work.
They had to fix it.
Yeah.
What is this? No, hold on. What is this?
Yeah. Of course, the people on YouTube and the people, everyone who thinks they're, an artist on Twitter decided to try and fix a professional artist's work by changing the pose of Mary Jane Watson because of the fact that they feel as though no one sits that way. Where's her organs? I am so tired of hearing that fucking statement. Where's her organs? Shut the fuck up. I'm sick of it. No, really. Because, come on, man. You got to be kidding me.
Oh, you're talking about the one where she's on the couch.
She's on the couch,
on the fucking couch, sitting there with coffee in her hand or whatever the fuck it is in her hand.
Okay, because these were the same people that got pissed off about the other Spider-Man one where it was Black Cat, and it was like, how can she arch her back?
How can she arch her back that way? Yeah, you know what? Let me just play it now. They fucked up.
People can be flexible, can't
they? They fucked up. They fucked up.
I've seen some women that are pretty damn flexible.
You've seen some
I've seen firsthand some women that can arch their back like that. Like, I'm just saying.
I wonder where you saw those flexible women at.
She wasn't anything. My ex, she wasn't anything like like a crazy supermodel, but I've seen her arch her back more than that.
I'm thinking there's a little bit more going on in this your ex there. You're saying you see some women.
But anyway, it's essentially is that somebody got upset because her position on the couch was too sexual. So
yeah,
they felt the need that they needed
which
to
wasn't sexual at all.
Fix it.
What is sexual about it? She's holding a damn cup of coffee. What the fuck, man?
I'm telling you,
because
these
because
people,
she's
Shit.
squeezing her tits together with her arms.
yeah,
holding
because
the mug.
she's giving you somewhat of the lean and squeeze. That's what it is.
Man, some bitches have big titties like that. I've seen them do that.
Bruh.
You know what?
They said, "Welcome to this podcast being canceled again."
Shit.
Damn it.
4 episodes in, we've been canceled at least 2 or 3 times already.
Well, then you know what? Then all those people need to go and fix all the comic book covers because every fucking one of them looks.
This is
Man,
this is a
have
issue
you ever
moment.
looked at
You're
a
right.
Vampirella like cover, dude? Like,
Vampirella and Lady Death has offered so much fan service. I don't even know what else to
all
say on
ass
that.
and titties all over the front,
Exactly.
like Witchblade, all that shit.
Exactly.
They're gonna get mad. They're gonna lose their shit over
Mary Jane sitting on the couch. That's right. That's it. Like I said, this is one of those.
That was immediately like the first thing I didn't even think of. I just looked at the cover and I was like, okay, she's just sitting on the couch. And
Yeah,
Spider-Man's
wasn't no one
out the
thinking
window.
about sexuality at the time? It was just like, yo, she's sitting on the couch while Spider-Man's going away.
Look, the thing is, people have this thing. They got nothing better to do right now. Everyone's all still COVID
They all have a
lockdown
stick up
mode
their
or whatever.
Yeah,
No, it's not that they don't have a stick up their butt. What the problem is that people are just really we're so bored. We have such first world problems. We got to make our own damn problems, and that's a complaint about some fucking goddamn cover art for a comic. Like
Yeah,
that's
no
how much
shit.
that's to the point where we're at. You're mad for the sake of being mad. You didn't even want to actually be mad. You're just fucking bored. And that's what it comes down to.
Look,
like some of these people are like, look, you didn't even consume the media.
Like
You're
they
just
said,
being
yeah,
bored.
exactly. That's exactly what they say. Yeah, they don't consume the stuff anyway. They don't support the artists that they don't like, as they're saying in the comments. They don't do anything but complain. I want to know, do any of these people? Because I've never seen it. All my years being at a comic book store and having discussions, I have never seen this conversation ever come up. You're not having it.
Enough fucking fans.
You're not having it in a real life situation. It's only on YouTube. It's only on Twitter. It's only on the fucking internet where people all of a sudden have nothing else better to do and complain.
Well, their argument is going to be, look at the fan base, and it's like, so what about the?
So fucking what about the fan base? Then change the
They're
fan
fans.
base.
It's their
What
fan
else?
base.
What else do you
It's their
want from
fandom.
them?
It's their fandom. Let them fucking have it.
Yeah.
God,
If, like I said, if you feel that way, and I keep telling people, if you feel that way, then you can make your own. You can carve your own way and have your own fan base for those things. There are plenty of subjects and plenty of options for everyone to like something. You don't need to kick someone else down to push yourself up when it comes to that type of situation. And it was funny because J. Scott Campbell, he gave everyone in anatomy class right there on Twitter. When they tried to redo his stuff, he was like, I'm going to show you exactly how I drew it. And he started with just one line. And then he went all in detail on how he drew it. He was like, that is your lesson for the day. And shut them all the fuck up.
Yeah, I was about to say, didn't he respond? Didn't he respond to that tweet?
Yes, he did. And it's weird because, I didn't want to get into this, but this seems like a lot of what we've seen as of late, which is ComicsGate. Now, you told me not too long ago, Doom, about another guy, what was it, Exiled, or what's his name again? The Exiled dude? He's got his own YouTube channel. You said
it was some chick, and she was ranting about how she was upset about how this person felt that they needed to fix his art cover.
Yeah.
And saying that it's very insulting to the original artist.
It's insulting. It is insulting to the original artist. I mean, we saw Rob Liefeld go through this with of course, the Captain America meme with his chest hanging out, and we saw that people were making fun of it by turning Captain America to a female with droopy tits and stuff like that. It was funny, but in no way should you take it seriously because they're memes. It's mean.
It's tongue in cheek. It's
Yeah.
done tongue in cheek.
Then you had what's her name, like with the What If that's coming up. Peggy.
Yeah,
is
Peggy
gonna
Carter.
be Captain America in the What If.
Yeah, and but those are fun because that's what If is for. That's what If is for. What if they did this? What if they did that? That's exactly what the lane is for. You can create characters or genders or swap or do anything you fucking want in What If because what if? That's what it is.
Ain't that a movie coming out too?
No,
Yeah,
it's not a movie. It's a series coming out on Disney Plus, an animated series.
Oh.
But I
Yeah,
just
Yeah, so it's gonna be a
Yeah.
bunch of different, what ifs. What if Peggy Hill was the one that received the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers?
yeah.
You say Peggy Hill, like from King of the Hill?
I said Peggy Carter.
You said
Peggy
Peggy Hill.
sorry,
Peggy
Peggy
Hill.
He said
no,
Peggy
I'm
Hill.
sorry.
I'm like, from a King of the Hill. I'm like,
No.
all right.
Chad,
Peggy
you
Carter.
have the full right to berate me for that one. I butchered that.
God damn it! I was like Peggy Hill.
He checked you on that one, so it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
But I mean, it really does. Like, all this really screams ComicsGate, and it's interesting because Ethan Van Sciver came out not too long ago, and he said, "I don't know what you guys at ComicsGate are doing." He was like, "You guys are getting boring." He was like, "You got nothing to say, you know." And look, I put it like this: I agree wholeheartedly with him. Because ComicsGate is nothing different than Gamergate, okay? It's the same thing. You have certain people who really care about the industry and are going to push back, all right? And then you have others who are just coming in as parasites to try and jump in and grab fame. And then when they date their little surfboard and try to ride that wave, and then when they don't know what to do afterwards, they just become stale. That's what happens. So he was absolutely correct on that, to call people out, I feel. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're talking to a guy who had to deal with, y'all know my history with Dan Slott. I had to deal with him so much that when he started stalking me for years, I thought he wanted dick. I really thought that was his end game. I thought he just wanted to meet up and suck my dick. That's what I thought he wanted to do. It was ridiculous. Shit. But now you got people online earlier today talking something. Slott blocked me and he can't take any criticism. Well, shit, we already knew that. We knew that. You bringing nothing to the table. Wait till you start getting stalked, then you can tweet some shit out. How about that? There's a reason why the Washington Post accredited me for that shit. But like I said, I find it absolutely ridiculous that we're just going to find topics in these this-you moments, especially when it comes to comic covers, and be like, this is problematic. This is troublesome. This is whatever you want to add phrase here. Whatever is hot at the time.
Yep.
It's bullshit. If you got a problem with it, why don't y'all talk to each other instead of attacking each other? So everyone can start understanding each other. Now, if y'all don't want to get along and say, hey, look, we're just not going to listen to you, well, then that's a you problem at that point. It's not going away.
The thing about that too is that Ethan, he saw everything coming ahead of time and set all his ducks in a row.
Yeah, he did.
And now look, he's successful with it.
He's successful, yeah.
And
he's making a killing right now.
And they're all pissed at him for it. And you know what? More power to Ethan. As like I said, I've repeated it a few times. I don't care for Ethan's political views.
Okay, yeah,
but when it comes to him in the industry for comics,
he's a talented
I have
artist.
all the respect for the dude.
He's a talented artist. You can't take that away from him. You can't. You don't have to like his politics. I mean, let's be honest here. Are we really following people simply for politics now? Is that what we're doing? I like this comic book artist. I'm going to follow him for politics. I like this football player. I'm just going to follow him for politics. I mean, is that where we're going? I thought you liked his work. I thought you liked the body of work that he does.
Like, people really like his new comic book series of Cyber Frog.
Yeah, Cyber Frog, and he's got, what, Rainbow Brute coming out? Yeah.
Yeah, he's got Rainbow Brute coming.
I saw the T-shirt earlier today where it said Choke Slam and Unicorn. I saw that. I was like, okay. Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, it's like, come on. Like, at some point, you got to give it a break. You know what I mean? You want to put politics in everything. You want to put it in the stories. That's always been the thing. Captain America has always been about politics. You know what I mean? Like, there's lanes for this stuff. But to go after artists for their political views when you actually just like their work, or I don't know, maybe you just don't like their work and you're just looking for someone to dunk on. I don't know. But it's absolutely ridiculous. At some point, look, if you get tired of hearing about political views, mute the motherfucker or don't follow him. Don't sit and cry for, let's say what, X amount of years?
Yep.
And say, oh, he's the cause of this, or he's the cause of that, or she's the cause of this, or she's the cause of that. That's bullshit. They're looking for a reason. And you ask me, that's worse than anything. That's the biggest bully, if anything. And when you speak that, you don't like that. I'm just saying.
It's just like, it's how the world is. It's so pathetic how we're all, when it comes to COVID and stuff, like, if you got getting bored, don't fucking do something positive in your life. Like, don't be negative. Don't be on fucking Twitter. Man.
Be constructive. Do something. Don't sit on Twitter all day and give everyone everything you have to say that comes out of your mind all the time. That's crazy. That's crazy. Some people get on Twitter just to argue about politics. I'm like, dog, what's wrong with y'all? Like, that's just too much.
I mean, shit. It also makes me think of that one YouTube clip. I forget what it was. It was either from the Marvel or DC Comics that they put on there, and like the lady that was heading, I forget what comic book series it was, but she basically said, "If you don't like my politics, don't buy my comic books." Okay.
And that's how. And that's
nobody
how,
bought her comics.
And that's the
I
thing.
won't buy your comic books then.
Yeah, that's it, and that's how. That's exactly how it should be. If you really don't like them that much, then don't support them. I told y'all how long ago. Anything that man is connected with when it comes to Dan, I'm not buying. I missed out on the Spider-Man video game. That's cool. You know what I mean? I'm cool with that. I had a talk with old boy who said that I was a little too loud for him to understand, and him and I had a talk on Twitter, and he was like, "Oh, I thought you was part of ComicsGate." I'm like, "Motherfucker, I'm in the middle of all this shit." So whether you believe that I'm ComicsGate or anti or versus, it's not up to you to decide what side I'm on. I decide what side I'm on, if I decide to take a side.
But yeah, it's still annoying, man. Ugh.
I'm just saying that you can't put me in a box. You're not going to do that. Who's going to check me? You're not going to check me. That's not how it works. And we settled our differences. You know, he was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? He was cool after that.
Boy.
That's the whole point. You're supposed to be fucking civilized on fucking Twitter, not arguing over fucking stupid shit. That's the
They're
point
like a
of
bunch of
shit.
idiots.
That's the problem
it's
with
just
people,
fucking
man.
children.
They do this shit all the fucking time. All the time. And it's like, y'all need to chill. And 9 times out of 10, you don't even know who you're talking to. You could be talking to a 13-year-old and not even know it. I'm not going to waste my time on you.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, 9 times out of 10, they won't even say that to your face.
Nah, they're never going to say it to your face. That's what I said. Who's going to have these talks in comic shops? No one's having these talks in comic shops. I'm not trying to hear it. They're not going to say it to your face. They feel real fucking bold on Twitter.
Well, there's not many comic book shops left since COVID. I mean, and then on top of that, since that one distributor decided to shut down and not, distribute anymore.
Yeah, it's comic
that
shops
was
are
a
hurting
huge
here.
blow.
Yeah, they're hurting here. They're still open here. I think it was a couple. I think it was about.
We have a few here too still, but throughout the entire country, there are a lot of comic book shops that.
Yeah, a lot of shops in general are just they're just under fire. But I mean, speaking
unfortunately, let's just say, unfortunately, the future looks like it's coming digital for comics. That's how it is.
Eventually, it's going to have to lighten up. The world's going to have to open back up. And these people that you're seeing who do this shit, they eventually going to have to see somebody face to face eventually. They're going to have to come out of their hole. And when that happens...
Or somebody's going to have to pick up the mantle of distributing.
Yeah, or someone, Or you can just keep doing the indie funding.
More than one.
Indie funding, too. It depends. But, I mean, we're still on comic books, so I guess we can have this. We have a special guest that are coming on today. I mean, y'all already know we the starting 5, but we're going to bring the 6th man off the bench on this one so he can get his points up, all right? We're going to do that today. We're going to have a special guest. Let me bring him in, because we're going to have, for those who do not know, we are going to have the Great Terminator Debate. That's right. That's what we're going to have today.
Oh, boy. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm going to bring in one of our guests. All right. Okay.
Dun, 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 dun,
That's right. Friend of the show. We're going to bring him in so he can get ready.
Somebody said, Castlevania Season 4 is out
Castlevania Season 4 is out. I haven't seen it yet. Don't say nothing. Nothing. I haven't seen it.
I gotta watch that shit Monday at my friend's house.
Yeah. So we are waiting for him to come on in. Is he here? Okay, you here? I don't think
Welcome, everybody.
Oh, there you go. Welcome, Kay. Friend of the show.
Howdy, boy.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
What's up, Kay?
I know. I'm going to set the stage for y'all real quick because for those who don't know, we've had quite a talk about Terminator and not knowing when we decided, we were going to do this. We waited purposely 4K for this one since Kay knows,
4K.
4K, all right? 4K knows his stuff.
4K TV.
Knows his stuff on Terminator Debate. So let me get started. I'm going to start y'all off because I'm not really going to say much on this one. I'll say some stuff, but I'm really not very versed in Terminator as much as I should be. So the first topic for Terminator should be, which is the best Terminator you have seen? Doesn't matter if it's, or I say read, seen or read, overall, comics and movies. The best Terminator that has the lore. Which one would you suggest?
The best movie that has the best lore. I'm gonna have to say T2.
I'm gonna go with T2 as well.
Okay.
The reason I particularly say it because T2 brought the idea of how crazy Skynet can get and what they are capable of. Because remember, in the first Terminator movie, the 1984 one, that was actually supposed to be a horror movie. Like the way that the Terminator behaved and everything, he was more Jason-like and more terrifying. But you really didn't know why. You know, John Connor, okay, yeah, I'm back. I'm from 2029. We're dead, basically, in my timeline. But I'm here to help you. Whole time, she don't know who to trust. Sarah did not know who to trust. He came out of nowhere, pulling guns. Then this big motherfucker with a leather jacket comes out of nowhere, pulling big guns. She's pulled left and right, doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, at the Tech Noir bar, Kyle Reese has told her that he had to wait for the Terminator to target her in order to figure out where he was.
Yeah. Yep.
It's interesting you two say this because even the crowd is saying T2 is the best Terminator out of all the lore. I'm just putting that out there for y'all.
Like I said, I completely agree. And I do kind of place the Terminator movies in different genres or categories. So like I mentioned with T1, semi-horror. Supposed to be horror. T2,
yep, supposed to be a horror
straight
movie.
up. Straight up action, explosions galore, everything.
Like
even go ahead.
Lots of suspense too within that one.
I found it funny.
Yeah.
I found it very funny that Terminator was blowing up cars and shooting with big Gatling guns and wasn't killing anyone.
Yeah.
Well, the most famous scene in that entire the most famous scene in that entire movie is the police station.
Yeah.
Yep.
T1000.
No, that's the second movie.
That's T1000 second.
Okay.
T3. What was it? What was the full name for it? Not Genesis. Whatever it is. But
which one?
That one, the third one.
Rise of the Machines.
Right there you go.
Okay.
And the thing with that one, I'm sorry, that was a whole comedy to me, because every time the T800 got into it with what was it, the TX or whatever her name was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were just bodying each other at every chance they got. I was dying laughing the whole
time. The bathroom scene, where they were fighting in the bathroom, and he dumps her through the urinal.
Gives her a swirly.
When I say that they made each other touch everything in that room, that's exactly what they did, and I enjoyed every second of it.
And then she grabbed it by the crotch and just walked him through the wall.
Yeah. Yep, made him feel every piece of it.
Now,
every piece. And
here's the interesting part that y'all talking about. Y'all talking about T3, right?
Terminator 3, correct.
But in T2, I've always said that Sarah Connor should have been more of a nightmare after T1, or should I say regular Terminator, and that she really did go crazy. So everything that happens in T2, she actually went on her own spree, her own shooting spree herself. I felt that was more happened. In Rise of Machines, as you said,
there is an alternate ending to T2.
Okay. You want to enlighten us?
There is actually, yeah.
Yeah, enlighten us, please.
Okay, so James Cameron, the way he designed the first film, because he wrote and directed the first and second films.
Okay.
And with the second film, he had shot an alternate ending, which could easily, like, pretty much end the whole series right then and there. And so the way the scene goes is that essentially what happens is that after they blow up Cyberdyne and destroy everything and destroy the T1000, destroy the T800 in the steel at the steel factory, everything's hunky dory at the end. Sarah, gets to grow old as an old lady, becomes a grandmother. John Connor becomes a politician, and that's it. Happy ending. And that was it. Like that literally, like,
so Judgment Day
shut
never
the door
happens
on any future sequels. Yeah, and Judgment Day never happens.
It would have been just fine that way too, to be honest with you. It really would have been just fine.
I agree. I would have been totally okay with that.
Interesting.
The later sequels, I definitely don't want to talk about those.
So wait, so you didn't like Genesis?
Genesis.
Don't even talk about Genesis.
Hold on.
Fucking Christ.
You forgot. In Japan, it's known as Mega Drive. Terminator Mega Drive.
Okay, well,
Yep.
Mega Drive. Okay.
Terminator
Yeah.
Mega Drive, like a Sega Genesis.
Yeah, right. Like the
Okay,
Sega Genesis.
so for
Yep.
anybody that watched the Terminator Genesis trailer, so whoever cut that trailer literally had spoiled pretty much everything in that thing. And I guarantee you, the person that did cut that trailer got fired.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep.
Because
So-
they spoiled the biggest thing in that movie.
That is.
The thing I do want to say and mention though is, this is why I say T2 has the best lore, because they really, really, really focused on that apocalypse. They really focused on the machines are taking over. This is what we've been trying to prevent for so many years, so much. So, you know, we've been trying to do this. It was talked about in the first Terminator. Okay, yeah, this is why he came back in time and da 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 da. But it wasn't fleshed out the way T2 did it, you know. And the sequels really, really ran with that. And I think if we didn't have that, just that extra exposure about Skynet, Cyberdyne, if we never got that more exposure, we wouldn't have the other Terminator movies later down the line in the same way.
So
You also have to. I'm sorry. You have to also think about that too, Kay. Because remember, Mick G's Terminator Salvation was actually, he was gonna give us the Future War.
that's exactly
And
what I was
we
going
had
to bring up.
asking
Right.
for
I was
that.
going to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah, we had been asking for those films, and he was gonna get a sequel trilogy of his own for that, and Salvation was gonna be the start of it.
Yeah. And we found out that the funding, they had some money issues, and then the production company decided to cut it. And then there was a lot of politics on why you didn't get any more after Salvation of that type of war.
And you know what? I would have actually loved to see it. I wanted to see it now because it's been hinted at. You know, we've seen the armies of the Terminators just taking down humans after human after human. Let's see it in its entirety. Let's see the full thing. So, yeah, that sucks that it didn't happen that way. I will give Dark Fate a slight pass, extremely slight pass.
Ooh.
Because they tried to retcon a lot of the other bullshit that didn't even need to exist. I'll give them that one little thing. Other than that, meh.
Well, they had their own brand of bullshit that they put on there, so you know.
Yeah.
They did fix a lot of bullshit by retconning, especially like, you know, the third and fourth movie. But
no, they
and
wiped
wiping
okay,
Genesis.
so they did it like several times with different stuff, like the Sarah Connor Chronicles retconned 3 going forward. What was it? Dark Fate did a full, you know, wipe. What else?
So we've had more retcons than we've had actually good quality Terminator films.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was what I was gonna say next. Yeah. It's like they just lost their way completely, and that was the end of it.
2 was you gotta think about it. 2 was a very, very high bar to set. I mean, that was the gold standard for an action movie.
That was like, you know, you want to make a Terminator movie, you need to make it like this.
And I still have the DVD for Terminator 2.
Oh, I got Terminator 2 on special edition Laserdisc.
Damn, he brought back the
comes with all this
Laserdisc.
kind of shit.
Yeah, and it comes with on the Laserdisc. It has the music video in the Tech Noir bar.
Okay.
Yeah, it has a lot of stuff you won't get on the Blu-ray or DVD extras.
So
yeah, they've never shown it anywhere else other than on that Laserdisc.
So as in lore, so we're looking at Terminator 2, and possibly another movie has the best lore. But where would you throw in Terminator versus RoboCop in that lore?
Oh, that. Okay, now we're just digging into my childhood nostalgia right now.
Oh boy.
I wanna put it in there.
versus Terminator.
I want to put it in there. I had the Sega Genesis game, and for the longest, due to the comics and the game, I just thought it actually was a part of each other series. So the way it was done was their worlds collided. It's just that Terminator came back a little bit, not so much as from like 2029 or anything, but, you know, like 2022. So not that long back. RoboCop was still out here doing stuff. For some reason, Terminator, I believe, was like, okay, there's another cybernetic thing out here. I don't know what it is. I need to go investigate it. RoboCop, like, okay, what's up? Okay, you're shooting at me. I'm not going to have this. And they just kind of had this ongoing thing for a while. I, for the longest time, thought that was an actual thing. And I'm like, wait, I don't ever remember seeing a movie for Terminator versus RoboCop, but yet and still, it feels like I have seen one.
Yeah, you got it in the form of the comic.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Dark Horse did their job pretty much.
Yeah, Dark Horse did a 4-issue RoboCop versus Terminator.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
And who ends up being Skynet again in this one?
Ooh.
Oh, it's super ironic. It's the Skynet. How Skynet came to be? It was because of RoboCop. It's RoboCop in the future.
You know what? And that makes
Alex
makes
Murphy.
1,000 times sense.
Because in the future, when RoboCop does get sent to the future, he basically confronts Skynet, and Skynet says, "I'm you." So essentially, what they did is that they took Murphy, they captured him, and they put his mind into a machine and reprogrammed him and turned him into Skynet.
Mm.
And then Skynet sent a bunch of Terminators to the past into RoboCop's time.
To
Play
try
him
to stop the
shitty
Boy
John
Scout.
Connor ass.
Well, Murphy was a Boy Scout.
No.
That's what he was. He didn't have any dirt on him. Murphy was a Boy Scout. He was the
what you're
American
saying
dream.
So what you're saying is,
and that-
Joe,
That's a great. I'm glad you said it that way, because yeah, he's a Boy Scout. He's pretty much what's the word I'm looking for? I'll say pure.
Yeah.
Good guy. Just a straight up good guy. And to find out he's actually the cause of this thing that we are terrified of eventually, yeah, that just kind of it rubs salt in the wound, but in a way it's like okay.
It's
that
ironic
hurts,
if you look at
so
it.
Yeah.
what you're trying
Yep.
to say is that's what gave birth to the Xbox One. Because of
Yeah.
RoboCop.
Xbox One? Really? No.
Well, I'll accept that.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? No, look, no, we're
They
not
say my
having
boy
that.
RoboCop
No.
caused the demise of Xbox One.
You tried to
Hell
put
yeah.
in Xbox One. And how you gonna play Microsoft at this point? Look, there's no way.
He's not wrong.
I mean, think about it. Murphy, like I said, he was the American dream who had a wife, a kid, white picket fence. He had everything. He was a true blue, by the law type person.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me they took his brain and said, this is what we want you to do. And he's enforcing the law in the way he can by Skynet. And you're telling me that everyone is just sitting around like, wait a minute, they're going to take us over because now it's his authority as opposed to what's doing the right thing. So now we're talking, a completely different subject when it comes to Murphy.
Yeah.
Or are we getting Murphy is this Murphy before he turned to RoboCop or after he turned to RoboCop?
This was during the time after he was after RoboCop. And
So
he's just
Murphy
doing
has
his-
trauma.
He's on the beat. Yeah, he's on the beat doing his job. And then suddenly he starts hearing a bunch of screaming, gets a about a bunch of people getting killed. And then come to find out, I guess John Connor and Sarah Connor somehow made it to Chicago or Detroit, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
And responds to the thing, and he sees some guy, basically trying to kill them, and so he ends up shooting the guy, and he flies backwards, and he gets back up, and Murphy's kind of like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah, you shot him.
Well,
yeah.
then later on, as they start fighting a little bit, the piece of the face of the Terminator's skin comes off, and he sees that it's machine underneath.
Okay.
And you know that with Murphy, he's encountered machine-esque beings with humanity, like seemingly.
Yeah, with Kane and
Mhm.
and Ed 209.
Ed 209 is still
Yep.
my favorite. He's still my favorite show.
Still scares the shit out of me.
I
Still
love Ed
scares the shit
209.
out of me. Coming up that elevator shaft like that, dude, that still gets me to this day. I think that might be the reason I don't like getting chased in video games. That might be it.
So because Skynet became pretty much self-aware, they're saying in the chat, because why would Alex Murphy decide that all humans were threats all of a sudden if he was human? But that's the thing. Are we talking trauma now within Alex Murphy? Because as we know, throughout RoboCop trying to be reprogrammed and him having these horrible flashbacks of him being shot down, that was a real thing. And that causes a lot of trauma that probably that PTSD never goes away. You've been turned into a robot now.
Mm-hmm. You are a full armored body with the same brain that you had when you were killed. Nothing changes. Yeah, they can try and reprogram you all day long if they want it. It's not going to erase that particular thing.
Yeah,
That
that's
just like you said, it just doesn't go away.
yeah, that's the spine of RoboCop, though. That's the
But that was the
humanity
whole
side.
thing.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
the
the whole
entire
thing, though.
entire point
After
of RoboCop.
the Murphy of the future, from what I understand, that happened was, they completely removed all the organic from him, so he was all data, and so they were able to link him up and turn him into Skynet, and then that's when he decided that he was going to do what he was going to. Skynet was going to. He literally became Skynet. He was no longer Alex Murphy. Alex Murphy was long gone.
Wow.
That hurts even more when you think about it that way. That hurts a lot more. It just puts. It kind of puts you in this.
He's fighting
Well, who do
programming.
we root for now?
But yeah,
Like, who
but
do we
that's the
root
thing.
for?
So you're telling me that Skynet Murphy could not fight his programming anymore and just became whatever
No,
they wanted.
he could
to
not. He the Murphy, the human side of Murphy was completely gone once he was fully a machine. Like, when all the organics, the brain was gone. Like he was literally an artificial intelligence at that point. He was
interesting.
Skynet, and then Skynet decided that's when the whole thing with Skynet. Murphy was no longer there.
Fucking Microsoft, they ruined everything.
Microsoft.
Nah, it's Google, man. Google's the one
We're
playing.
gonna have a console war. We're gonna have an argument on Twitter. I'm gonna fuck you up.
It's
We're gonna
interesting.
have that argument on Twitter.
It's interesting that they bring that. No, I'm just saying because Dark Horse had some interesting takes in all their crossovers, some really interesting takes, and this one, to say the least. I mean, we could also bring up a certain other superhero that fought Terminator. We could bring that up too, but I don't know how deep that lore goes. You know what I mean? As opposed to RoboCop versus Terminator, which seems to be a real war of the machines.
Yeah.
But humanity is still at risk.
The hero of that entire comic book series for RoboCop versus Terminator, that is definitely RoboCop.
Until you find.
I don't know. Speaking of the subject of RoboCop versus Terminator, y'all ever watch that Death Battle show where they did RoboCop versus Terminator? It was actually RoboCop that came out on top.
Yeah, well, RoboCop is the good guy. That's why the Terminator can't feel or do anything. That's how it always is with Terminators. They always tell you can't stop them, you can't bargain with them, you can't reason with them, you can't do anything. It just kills.
Emotions.
So yeah, it's one of those
But yet
things.
in Dark Fate, they gave it like a human side. Once its mission was complete, it kind of explores what does it do afterwards.
Exactly. After he killed his target, after he killed John Connor. Sorry, spoilers, but yeah,
I don't think
he
it's much
grew a
spoiler.
conscience.
I don't think it's much spoiler.
There's no spoilers in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, and also this movie is old as shit now. So come on.
Yeah, it's not a spoiler if it's that old. You know what I mean? Like if we talk about something that happened yesterday or something, that's spoiler. But this has been well old enough, and to bring Sarah Connor back, to kind of lead, and that's the thing. It didn't feel like she was leading anything. It felt like it was just a cameo for her. You know what I mean? As opposed,
it really did.
Yeah, it didn't feel like the badass is back. It didn't feel that way.
So the thing is, I see what they were doing for it. That was another reason I said I'll give them a slight pass on that, because they were trying to basically, because Sarah Connor died, like just too much stress over time, and she just died, passed away.
I can see that.
And people were pissed. People were pissed about that. In the third Terminator movie, Sarah Connor's dead. Well, it has been a long time, but damn, really, she was the badass. Like, how did she die? And it was some stupid ass reason, like a stroke or something. I don't know.
It was leukemia.
Leukemia, okay. And it's like, oh, okay, that's a real weak way for her to go out, and a lot of other fans
I don't think it is
the same way.
I don't think it is. I mean,
but it was an off-screen death.
It's an off-screen, it's an off-screen death. But I mean, it's a disease. The Terminator never got to do what it needed to do. It never completed its mission.
So she still technically won. I mean, it wasn't by her choice.
Yeah, she technically won. Yeah,
you still couldn't stop me. So
yeah, like there was a whole reason. There was a whole reason why Linda Hamilton had not been in a bunch of Terminator films after 2, and the whole story was that Linda Hamilton and James Cameron kind of got into it.
Yeah, they couldn't get along or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
And so that was the reason why Linda Hamilton didn't show up for a really long time, and then we got her back in Dark Fate. Now I'm gonna say some interesting things that I noticed that what they did with Terminator Dark Fate is that they literally took they literally redid, like, if you watch the movie, watch Terminator Salvation and then watch Dark Fate, and you'll see a huge similarity of the two. And it's literally all they did was take Dark Salvation and just remake it. So all they did was take Marcus Wright and swapped it out with what's her name,
Grace.
Yeah, with Grace. And then the same thing for John Connor. They
gender swapped. Yeah.
All they did was just take John Connor, remove him, and put that girl in as the new John Connor.
Yeah, as the target.
Yeah. So like they literally pretty much remade Salvation. It's weird.
So they retconned all the other stuff. They kept this one, so this one is canon. This one's supposed to be canon.
Yeah, this one's now currently canon. So now you got Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Dark Fate.
And everything else doesn't matter.
Everything else is gone.
Even with RoboCop doesn't matter. Even though that gives you a lot of lore, that doesn't even matter.
What the fuck happened to 3?
They retconned it. They killed it.
3 is gone.
3 is gone.
It's a different timeline.
They did a Dragon Ball GT then. They just threw it out the window.
Yeah, they threw all of them out the window.
It wasn't canon.
Threw it out the window. They just said,
That's
fuck
what
it.
Fucking Microsoft.
That's what I meant by sir.
You still playing on Microsoft? I don't understand.
You really don't like Microsoft.
And see, here's the other half of it too. James Cameron was only like, okay, so that Dark Fate had 4 writers for that film. Why the fuck do you need 4 writers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's excessive.
That's
For
too
one
many.
film.
That's too many
Yeah.
chefs in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that if it's a series, but you don't need that for that many movies.
For one movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Everyone has their different opinions, don't they?
And
Not sure.
there is something else due to Terminator. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's not canon. I'm sure this was just for fun. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there was an instant where we had another James Cameron creation. I think it was James Cameron. No, Ridley Scott. There it is. Ridley Scott, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The Terminators. That did happen, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, it's been so long ago. I believe that happened, but only in, I want to say, comic form. No game, no nothing like that. But that was something that I would have loved to actually see. A Terminator deal with the Xenomorph.
Well,
Alien versus
now,
Terminator.
hey,
that's
that's
kind of a
whole
one-sided
different
fight.
Yeah, you have to understand. Yeah, Red Comet. We're gonna have that talk because I was talking to Doom about it, about xenomorphs and stuff and Predator, and we're gonna have that talk in the future. Because I am versed in.
UK and Comet should get together for that one. That would be a good one for y'all.
I know my
Predator
lore
and
with
aliens.
that. Yeah, I know my lore on that one. So I mean, but with Terminator and RoboCop, I mean, if Murphy, I played this since they've done Dark Fate, it retcons the Sarah Connor Chronicles, right? So that's not a thing anymore.
Sarah Connor Chronicles is no longer canon.
Okay, so the show's not longer canon. The comics
that
are no
was your
longer
second.
canon.
That was the second reboot.
Jeez. All right, so they've pretty
been
much
so
retconned
many.
anything Terminator other than the first 2, and then killed John Connor, which was the target, which means that no, you still can't stop Judgment Day. I still don't see that. It starts with Sarah Connor. It passes down to John Connor. You kill John Connor, and then you're telling me now all of a sudden John Connor is replaced, and it's this girl, and this is what's going to stop Judgment Day now, without really any good explanation.
Well, technically, it doesn't really stop Judgment Day. It just postpones it continuously.
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely
Senate
ridiculous.
is always stopped in the future before somebody gets sent back.
Yeah. Well, has someone always? Yeah. Well, I think Judgment Day always has to happen in order for someone to get sent back. That's the entire lore of it.
Except for the alternate ending for T2.
Ending for T2. So we've gone X amount of years. We've grown up on Terminator, and we've only got 2 good movies. You tell him we got 2 good movies.
You pretty much, man. Because the original timeline it would go Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Rise of the Machines, which is 3, and then it would go Mick G's Salvation, and then Genesis, and then Dark Fate.
Oh.
Also known as Mega Drive.
You keep bringing this Mega Drive. What's wrong with you? Stop it.
And the spelling's different, by the way. It's like it has a Y in it.
Cody, I think we're gonna have to have an Xbox for the PlayStation, right?
Damn British in the damn British in their mega drives.
It wasn't even that. It's absolutely ridiculous that they would even give us two films and say,
if you look at the first three films, though, it's basically Skynet starting to learn. Basically learn from its mistakes. So it sends back a T-800 infiltration unit in the first film to go after Sarah Connor, thinking, okay, if I kill Sarah Connor, I'll be safe. Well, it turns out that when Kyle Reese is the main target. Yeah. You stop him from going back.
Then that's a different story.
And Skynet learns this in Salvation.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you said Kyle Reese, right? From the first
because remember,
Kyle Reese. Ain't that the guy in front of the Metal Gear cover from Nintendo?
Yes, Michael Biehn. For those who didn't know, Michael Biehn, that is him.
He's also in one of the Alien movies.
Yes, he was also in one of the Alien movies.
Second one.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was in Aliens.
He was in Aliens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's an alien.
Yep.
But yeah,
there's a crossover right there.
So each film, when you saw Terminator 1, 2, and 3, Skynet essentially is beginning to learn.
Yeah.
So you see an infiltration unit, and then the second one sends back, okay, well, the infiltration unit wasn't good enough. So I'm going to send back this, liquid metal one.
Stronger one.
That's even harder. That's even harder to kill.
Yeah.
And then Skynet's like, all right, well, that didn't work. Let me send back a combination of the two, a T-800, an infiltration unit with a liquid metal skin.
Mm-hmm. That was literally probably the best choice they had at the time, combining those. Because, as you notice, the T-1000 couldn't hack it couldn't mimic voices, but it couldn't hack electronics. It couldn't control electronics. The T-800 couldn't either, really. I mean, it could upload things to itself, but that would be it. But here you got
it was just a walking learning computer at all that was.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's really interesting that y'all brought up this, it trying, because it seems like that's really the big thing of Terminator is Skynet trying to learn. If you think about it, even in the other movies, they started bargaining with John Connor, and John Connor became part of Skynet. He fused.
That was in Genesis.
Yeah, he fused with the machines.
No, that's Mega Drive.
But okay. So here's I'm sure Kay knows this too. So in the future, Skynet's ground infantry units, they were all T-800 endoskeletons. They were just skeletons. They weren't they could be converted to infiltration units, but that was their ground force. That was the ground force.
They were deployed as the endoskeletons.
And Skynet would have them set to where it could control what they were doing. But when they would send an 800 series back in time, Skynet would set them to read-write mode, so it could learn. So it can learn, its environment and everything.
Mm-hmm. That's why that scene where, after getting kind of messed up, the T-800 is in the mirror messing with his eye and his skin and everything.
He's trying to keep up its appearance.
Yep. He's like, okay, the cracks are starting to come through. I need to do something about this.
Well, he started to rot. His body was rotting.
Yeah, his body started to rot. That's why that guy was like, made that comment through the door.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This seemed to have went well. I mean, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead and finish.
Oh no, I was pretty much confirming and agreeing with.
All right. Well, we have one more topic on this that I think, Kay, that you can really speak on with this, and I don't think people, I didn't think that they would be so entertained by the Terminator debate. We had a lot of people in here talking about Terminator right now, and but we're going to shift gears, and we're going to bring y'all Gremlins The Remake. Should we have one? Do we deserve one? Or should we just leave it alone?
There's so much.
That's hard to say. That's real hard to say.
I'm sorry. Nobody should ever own a Gremlin ever.
But also another thing is that no one asked for it either.
Yeah,
no one said, "Man, you remember Gremlins? That should get a remake." No one ever asked for it, but
I'll say. No, go ahead.
No, let's put this in perspective. We know what happened with Gremlins 1. We can bypass Gremlins 1 because the biggest part of this is Gremlins 2 when they were in New York. We know that there was a biolab that was testing on these gremlins. We know that they got into some bad shit in New York, all right? We started seeing spider gremlins. We were seeing all types of different gremlins.
And to be honest with you, it technically didn't end because
exactly
the corporation didn't get shut down. And in fact, there was one lone gargoyle, basically gremlin that was left out in the open.
Yeah.
Who knows what type of who knows when it rains what it could do to that? I know it's concrete now, but who knows what that gremlin could turn into if water hit it or if sunlight hits it. You know, it did fly out in the sun and turn to stone. Who's to say? Because they've done all these genetic tests and biological tests. It didn't end there.
And
it just,
as we know, though, gremlins multiply like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So
they didn't get them all.
Yeah, and you can't tell me just because it's off screen and then you see it later doesn't mean that something didn't happen off screen. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, that's how this works.
Yep. And this is the reason why I say I wouldn't mind a remake or even a possible sequel, because there's a fan-made video on YouTube that makes Gremlins way more terrifying than what it was, but it still had a tiny bit of comedy in it. Really, really good. I have to look the name up so I can, post it and everything, but it was really good. And I was like, man, if they did a Gremlins in this day and age like that, I wouldn't mind watching it.
Like they're saying,
now,
they just wanted civilization and Hulk Hogan. That's all they wanted.
Now, was the first Gremlins supposed to be a horror movie too, or
it was a Christmas movie, but it was a horror movie. Yes.
Mm-hmm. It was what you can consider like black comedy or horror comedy.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But it's a horror comedy movie. Mm-hmm. Anyone who gets their head put through a fucking microwave and then light it up, that's a horror movie.
Okay, I want to address the elephant in the room from the first movie. Okay, the shop owner. The shop owner knew exactly what he had with that Mogwai.
Money.
He knew exactly what was going to happen with that little Mogwai. So why the hell would he? If he knew what could happen, why would he sell that thing to him?
First off, they're saying it's a comedy to them, but look, if we're going to do that, then you guys also look at the offshoots of these type of things. Remember, back then we didn't have just gremlins; we had critters as well.
Critters.
Oh God, critters.
Critters in space.
Yeah. So I mean, these things were still considered horror. Screamers. All these things were considered horror. Except I think that Gremlins was just a little bit more commercially accepted. I think that's what it was.
They had toys, they had plushies. I mean, hell, we even got Furbies down the line, and those were nothing but Gremlins.
They were nothing but Gremlins.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, those things are straight up like
basically. I hate them. I can
basically like
he hates them.
There was a Gizmo Furby. There was a Gizmo one that actually talked. I don't want it, but I mean, hey.
I don't know about all that, man.
I don't want it. I know better.
That's just like that's like people owning like the Chucky dolls that look pretty fucking real, you know? It's
I am going to stick up for Chucky every chance I get, because that remake that they made not too long ago was actually pretty good story-wise.
Yeah, it was
story-wise.
I like how
he wasn't. Don't get me wrong. He's not the smart-ass Chucky that we know, and vindictive and crazy Chucky. But Chucky is learning from his environment. He's learning from Andy.
If you will.
He's learning from Andy and his asshole friends on how to do things. So he thinks when he starts killing people, this is what they like. That's what he's thinking.
You guys love watching horror movies and seeing people get their heads pulled off. He's
like, this is what you like, right? And they're like, no, you got to stop it. He's like, but this is what you like. Like, Chucky was molded into what he was. I think that's the beauty of the remake. I mean,
and I appreciated that. When it went off, I was like, I kind of liked it. I had to just sit down, but I kind of liked it. At first, I was like bagging on, like, come on, man, this should have just well enough alone.
I think there's a lane for both. I think there is. I think there's a lane for old school Chucky. You can still make those movies. And I think there's a lane for this new generation or this new remake where you can do something with it. And I think both should be accepted. But fans really didn't like that remake. And I'm like, I don't see the problem. I mean, everything he's learning from the people around him. That's how he becomes who he is. It's not like before.
Wasn't it some kind of a military artificial intelligence or something like that? For the latest one?
For the newest one, I believe so. Or they were just testing out like how they have the cameras and the teddy bears.
Yeah,
but it was an AI system that could learn.
So it was like small soldiers.
Yeah.
Without
the comedy.
Yeah.
Without the comedy.
But just scarier.
Yeah, a lot scarier.
And when you notice because most of the time, his eyes were always glowing blue. They were always shining blue. It's like, okay, but then certain times, like all the kids were asleep and he's just up watching these horror movies. It's just like, it's turning red and it's like, oh God, here we go. Here we go. Somebody need to wake up and get him because he about to go through something.
Yeah, he'd be gone and you would know what was going on. And he'd come back and he'd be all messed up, blood all over the place and everything. And it was just like, it got crazy.
Yep. And I honestly believe, going back to the Gremlins thing, that's why part of me is like, along with the YouTube video, part of me is, because it could be done. It could be done pretty well if you give it to the right people. Yeah. But I do want to leave well enough alone because I love nostalgia all day, but sometimes you just not need to do it.
Yeah,
I
agree. I
wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of. They're talking about this remake, and I'm like, dude, leave it alone. We didn't ask for it. Yep. We don't need it. I mean, we saw a commercial not too long ago. I mean, I think that's how they're starting to test the waters.
Mountain Dew commercial with Gizmo?
Yeah, and not just that. We also saw E.T. during Christmas time. They had a commercial with E.T. to see just how it would fare so well, and it went insanely over with the public. So I think that's the testing waters to see how people will react, and if they react good enough or it's received well enough, they'll think about making a movie.
And the Gremlins one was the Mountain Dew commercial was definitely received well.
Yeah, very well.
A lot of people were like, did I just see Gizmo again? And I'm like, wait, what? You know about Gizmo? And I'll just outpour after that. Dude, Gizmo's back. I'm like, y'all not even recognizing the main actor from the first
film. Billy. They didn't give Billy any credit. They gave Billy no credit.
None. But I mean, Gizmo's a household name. Hell, I have a Gizmo Funko Pop. That's as far as I'll go. He's a Funko Pop. He stays in the box.
He made it very well known to let us know that he stays in the box.
He's in that box.
I do not feed him. I do not give him. No, stay in the box.
There's no sunlight that can get to him. He's just fine.
But here's a good question though. We'll start it off with this. Kay, your opinion: should you own a gremlin?
No.
No one should.
No.
Nobody
People
should.
have a hard time.
And we are back. I would like to say that I want to thank Twitch for, showing their inner, I should say, PETA side by saying that we shouldn't, by saying that, it's wrong for us to even talk about pets or in this case, Gizmo. Bring back in K. Yeah, and Microsoft for helping shut us out. There probably is gremlins chewing on the wire at this point. We're not sure just yet. Or shutting down a server somewhere. But they're trying to cancel us for it.
Yep.
But we're back. Canceled. Not a big deal. But Kay, I want to reintroduce Kay so he can speak on what he was saying about gremlins.
Yeah, so you were saying that we should not own one.
We should not own one, right?
You there, Kay?
You there, Kay? Hello?
Yep.
Oh, okay, they got
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, he's there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, no one should own a Mogwai. Yeah, am I there?
So they're just going to be out in the wild, just doing whatever they want to do, and still getting infected by rain, and still in the woods somewhere, and getting their army up. We're in trouble. Either way.
Oh God! If one got out in the wild, and dude, we'd have Gremlin World.
All right, so that's the question. So does someone have to own it? I mean, we've seen in Gremlins 2 that you can't trust the companies to own one because they're going to keep testing on them. You can't have a human, a genuine human person get it because there'll be an accident and they'll turn more gremlins. So who's to control them at this point?
A nuke button.
A nuke button. You can't drop. Look, you can't drop nuke on your own sand, guy. That's not how it works. Then we all die.
No, what you do is you do like anything else, and then you just have open season for them all the time. Pretty sure there's like I said, there's probably a good hunting scene for hunting gremlins in Mogwai.
Yeah,
just saying.
I'm
pretty sure y'all. That's all you got to do.
Look, as soon as it rains, it's happening. Okay, as soon as they get wet, it's happening.
Shit's gonna get real.
Yeah.
And it's a multitude. It's not like 1 or 2 are born. No, it's like 7, 8, 10, 12, rapidly. And just
like rabbits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They just pop them out.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
Yeah. Because what was it? The scene where he jumps into the fountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was still. That scene.
That was a little weird.
I do want to go to one thing really, really quick.
Okay.
Responding back to Joe's question about the sales guy. Now, if anybody knows anything about this, he is very, very, very similar to another old Asian salesman. That
Stop
is
Asian
the
hate.
guy. Oh no, now the stream definitely is gonna be over.
Stop Asian
the
hate.
stream's definitely gonna be over.
We're now canceled.
That's it. That did it.
Yeah, you did it. You did it. You did it.
But no, the salesman from the first Hellraiser selling the Lament configuration. Also a sign that nobody should have that puzzle box because people don't know how to act with it. Same thing with a Mogwai. People don't know how to act with these things. I mean, I don't know how Billy has kept Gizmo in check after everything that's happened all these years at this point. But yeah,
Why does he even have Gizmo in the first place?
It was a Christmas gift from his dad. His dad went overseas, Thailand or something like that, and he came back and was like, "Hey, I got you a Christmas gift." Da, 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 da. He opened it up. He's like, "What is it? A dog?" He's like, "No, it's something special." And that's what kicked
that's what came
off.
out. Yeah, that's what came out.
But no, but I mean, like the shopkeeper, like where did he find Gizmo?
That's the thing. No one knows. We don't know what that species is, where they came from. Nothing at all. I mean, I can't even figure out their physiology. So, who knows? Some say aliens. I don't want to do aliens because that's too easy. I don't know. Ancient species that existed at that would be scary. That species that existed here on Earth at one point, that's a lot of wipeout. That's a lot of damn wipeout. Because if they are ancient, there's nothing there monitoring them. There's no rules. No one knows the rules. Somebody had to figure it out. So they could be from Earth. Who knows?
Interesting. Well, with that said, I want to thank Kay for coming on and talking about this. Look, now they're saying Wuhan, everything. Okay, yeah. Look, now they're naming all the stuff. See what you started, Kay? You just started the hate campaign. You see that?
Oh boy.
You have started the hate campaign.
It was a matter of time before someone else came in to get this canceled.
But no, I want to thank Kay for being on for this discussion. I mean, we're definitely going to have you on in the future, bro. We're going to have to.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. Yeah, for the Alien and Predator and.
Yeah, we got a lot of crossovers to talk about. So, but
Absolutely.
I want to thank you for coming on the show. And until next time, man, just take care of yourself, all right?
Yep. Thank you all as well for having me, and I had a lot of fun. We'll do it again.
That's what it's about.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. You guys are welcome. Thank you.
All right. See you, man.
Take care, guys.
Later.
All right, take it easy, Kay.
Yep. You all too.
All right, everyone. We should move on to our next topic, which is very interesting. Should we talk about Doctor Who? Nah. You know what? Let's cut that for the next one. Let's cut it for the next one. However, we need to talk about this Gina Carano thing. I think this needs to be talked about. All right. For those who don't know, Disney is pushing Gina Carano for an Emmy for her work on Star Wars. That's right. Now, as you know, Disney fired Gina Carano for her words outside of Star Wars. And apparently they told her for quite a while before they fired her, hey, you got to calm it down a bit. You're getting a little too a little too reckless, too crazy. And she kept having her opinion. And as we know now, they're trying to champion her. So there is rumor about her being back for Star Wars, for The Mandalorian. We don't know if that's true yet, but that is the rumor going around. Gentlemen, what are your opinions on that one?
I mean, I thought she played the role of Cara Dune pretty well, so I mean,
so did I, yeah.
why not?
So did I. I thought she did well.
I haven't seen the Mandalorian, so
You haven't seen Mando? Oh, well, okay.
No,
well,
I don't have Disney Plus.
Okay. It's okay. It's understandable. If you haven't seen it. But just the politics behind this, I feel is quite a bit shocking because you can't fire someone like that and then be like, oh yeah, she deserves an Emmy. She deserves an Emmy.
Well, okay. you also have to look at it. You also have to look at it too. Is that Kathleen Kennedy was the one responsible for firing Gina Carano.
There goes that name.
There goes that name.
Yep,
Joe,
that name.
look, Doom will always mention that name too. He'll curse that name to his grave.
Yeah, it's. I feel like this. It really needs to. We have to draw on that one. We really have to. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy. We might as well get it in. Kathleen Kennedy has no idea what she was doing. The Anointed One has no idea what she is doing or what she did with Star Wars. All right, nothing whatsoever. She's the one who was. Well, no, she was the one who was responsible for getting rid of the comic lore that Star Wars had. She was the one responsible when they decided to start making all those
the expanded universe.
The expanded universe. She was responsible, and then when they got
He
rid
was
of
the
it,
president of Lucasfilm.
Yep, and then and
Former president.
Former.
as far
Thank
as,
you.
rumors-
Thank you.
Former.
Go ahead. Go no.
As
Go ahead.
rumors are now.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Give him the former. Give him.
So the story is that the rumors are swirling about throughout all the the YouTube world of the
You could
film
have said
industry.
it. I wouldn't have sued you for that. I wouldn't sue you for that. Go ahead, say YouTube Nation. Go ahead. You can say it.
YouTube Nation of the YouTube Nation. Supposedly, Kathleen Kennedy has now been fired from Lucasfilm, and that she is no longer the president, and now they are working on getting Jon Favreau as the new president of Lucasfilm. And supposedly, there's also been talks about George Lucas also coming in as well.
And you know what? I'm for this. I put it like this. I don't care about gender. I don't care about color. If you're not doing right by your fan base, and I understand you want to expand the world. We've talked about this. We want to expand the world, not replace the world. You expand it. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. All right. But when she comes out and says, this clearly needs to be different because blah, 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 X, Y, Z, then you're already going in with an agenda and you're already killing the product. You're getting away from what people loved about Star Wars. However, like I said, there's room for it, I feel. And I don't want to feel like I'm taking up for Star Wars fans because we know that there's some of them people, there's something wrong with them. There's something wrong with them. All right? But
to jump on the back to the whole thing about Gina Carano. Okay, the tweet she made that got them to remove her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was in poor taste, but maybe you know, slap on the wrist, to hey, probably not a good idea to say that.
Yeah. Well, apparently she was warned multiple times for what they had said. Again, what they said.
They had kind of got onto her different occasions, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I said, poor analogy and in words and choice and all that, but she should have never been fired from the Mandalorian.
I don't think she should have. I believe that there should be representation, in the world, but you can't force it. They can't. And we saw what they did. We saw that. We knew that Finn should have been the next one in line. We knew it. We could feel it.
By the way, even in Star Wars, there was already an original woman in there. What's her name? One of the Jedi, and Jedi Council was the female.
Well, we've seen it. We've seen it over the years. If you watch Clone Wars, if you watch any of them, we know. You know what I mean? If you're a fan, like I said, representation, I'm all for. But you can't sit here and tell me you're going to force it and go in with an agenda and say this is how it's going to be and you're going to like it. No, because then people are going to push back. That's how it always is.
Well, think about this. Before she left with that recent comic book series that they put out, they made a damn rock a character.
Yeah.
A fucking rock.
It's Star Wars. They have so many species throughout the world. You cannot tell me that, Star Wars fans, they're super duper racist. Get the fuck out of here. We've seen so many different alien types of life in the Star Wars universe. It's like, I don't see how that even gets there. And like I said, there are some guys, and some girls there who have some problems. There are. But they don't outweigh the many who've had this experience as they were kids and say, hey, look, we have learned to, this is true diversity. Look at all these different alien races. And they're either against the Empire, or they're with the Empire, or whatever the case may be. They may just be a bounty hunter. You don't know. But they were always there, right in front of our face, always. So for me,
from what I understand, though, with Jon Favreau taking the helm as over Lucasfilm, he's now bringing back all the Star Wars legends. So apparently, they're no longer known as the Extended Universe anymore. They're called Star Wars Legends.
Okay.
Also, that's been the thing for a while.
Oh, has it? Okay.
Then, that's been the thing. But the Star
But
Wars
now, yeah,
Legend, the Star Wars Legends thing is basically all the good shit. Now and it's just retconned.
Well, they need to
short,
retcon
that's
those.
what it
Those
is.
last 3 films. They need to retcon.
Well,
I was cool with
Jon
Cole.
Favreau's starting to bring
was
those
it
in.
Rogue One? I mean, I was cool with that. But
yeah,
Rogue
Jon
One.
Favreau's he's reaching into that bag now. So and the rumors are now even swirling around that they're looking at Henry Cavill to come in and play a character.
That's interesting. He's a good actor.
oh
Okay.
man, y'all gonna have the women all types of moist on Star Wars. Now, why y'all gonna go do this? Why y'all gonna go get Superman and bring him in here? Y'all know how they feel about The Witcher already, and how they feel about his past films. You know what I mean? Wasn't he on the Tudors? Y'all already know how these women feel.
He was on the Tudors.
Yeah, y'all know how these women feel about him. Like, come on.
You know, it's a whole new fan base that's untapped.
It's
so.
gonna be a bucket. I'm just gonna be a bucket of moist everywhere. Y'all know that. I mean, look how moist he was fixing a damn computer, and look how they got. I mean, damn.
They couldn't. Yeah, they couldn't get that shit. You know what? And they always say like, "Oh, us men are always, you know, objectifying women." Hey, look, y'all guilty of the same shit.
Yeah, y'all get the men too.
Everyone got their shit.
Let's be real here. Han Solo, even though Han Solo was the sex symbol at the time for that. I mean, and then he went on to do Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford, which was actually for Tom Selleck to play, but it went to Harrison Ford, and he became a sex symbol. It was like, come on, y'all can't tell me that this isn't a two-way street. You cannot tell me that. There's not. I mean, it's there. I mean, come on now.
I think the best sex symbol is Jar Jar Binks, baby.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks, man.
Jar Jar Binks was a
From
sex
a
symbol.
political standpoint and money standpoint, it makes sense. Jar Jar was the only person who got to come up. He's the only person. He went from
The fan
savage.
theories are really wild about Jar Jar Binks. They're saying that he's a Sith Lord.
Yeah. He was in the council. Like, he went from nothing to something real quick. He did.
He just jumped the ranks really fucking quick.
He
so.
did. I don't know if that's the
Jar
representation they wanted, but he went affirmative action on their asses.
Shit.
I don't know. I just think that I just felt it was a little disingenuous, the fact that they would fire her and say, well, she was an Emmy Award, you know, she should be nominated for an Emmy, but we fired her anyway. Something just doesn't sit right with me. Like I said, it's internal politics, clearly, that should stay out of Star Wars. It should.
Well, okay, so the reason why Kathleen Kennedy fired her also was she just needed a reason to do it. And Gina Carano's tweet post was just what she was looking for. The reason she wanted to get rid of Gina Carano originally, this is all hearsay from from inside, from the insiders.
More hearsay, okay.
Talking about this, and they're saying it's because Gina Carano went against Kathleen Kennedy's narrative.
Oh, fuck off, dude.
Come on. See, I told you, when you go into things like that with an agenda, there's a problem.
Cara Dune was a strong female character.
Isn't that what you want?
We can't have that.
That doesn't make sense because
Kathleen Kennedy. That argument doesn't make any sense because she's literally strong and
but
she's a female character.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the thing though. She wanted Kathleen Kennedy's original goal is that she wanted to destroy the Skywalker saga and then put in this new.
But what did Cara Dune have to do with any of that? That's what I'm wondering.
They still had the Skywalker.
It was a strong female character.
They still brought the Skywalker saga into it anyway because Rey, you know, she was a clone or whatever. She still considers herself a Skywalker. I mean, the last film is literally called Rise of the Skywalker.
She's a Palpatine.
She's a Palpatine, but she considers herself a Skywalker.
She just took the name in the movie.
I'm just saying, but you can't destroy the lineage and then take it. It's like, oh, it's mine now. You know what that is? You know what we call that? We call that colonizing.
The person that technically is a Skywalker is Ben Solo.
That's called Skywalker appropriation.
It is. Ben Solo is technically a Skywalker. He is.
Man, fuck Ben Solo. He killed my nigga Han Solo, son.
That was his dad. I mean, they had to make him turn Sith some way, and then they're trying to. He deserves forgiveness. There's no coming back from that, dude. I
thought Kylo Ren was more of a crybaby than Anakin was.
Oh no, he definitely was.
He
definitely was.
Yeah. I mean, this guy was literally going around the universe and slaughtering people just to prove that he was different. Like, who does that? And then, he can be forgiven. No, he can't.
To get back onto the whole thing about Kathleen Kennedy not wanting Gina Carano there anymore, it's because it was going against Kathleen's narrative, which was the fan base is horrible. I don't like Luke Skywalker. I want the Force to be female. and she couldn't have that. So she kept looking for a reason to get rid of Gina Carano, and then she finally got her wish. But that all came to a head and turned around and bit her on the ass.
That's good though. That's good. Like I said, so I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, I'm not part of that fan base like that. But I saw some people going like really out of bounds on that fan base. It's like, duh, there's no point for that. There's no reason for that. You know what I mean? And then you have people who try to be, nice about it, or at least try to hold a conversation, and then they would get railroaded by those type of people. And it's like, I can understand why they call the fan base what they do, but you've got to be kidding me. So,
yeah, it's just. It's how the world is now. It's just pathetic. People can't have a decent conversation or something.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, speaking of women, since we're on the topic, a woman saves her husband's Gunpla collection from flood. Yo.
Oh yeah, that's a keeper.
That's a keeper.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hero right there, man.
That's a keeper. That's a goddamn superhero. That's what that is. You better not get rid of that.
I saw that. The lady's over there with their fucking holding a big ass. I forget which one it is, which kid it is.
I don't know, but she was there.
It looked like a perfect grade box. I think, right?
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. I mean, that's a damn that's true love right there. That's true love. Unlike our last spot where we talked about the guy who he had like 35 girlfriends. All you need is one.
There you go, man.
that hero
All
right
you
there.
need is one. Complete keeper. You cannot tell me that she doesn't deserve that. I mean, who goes through that? A flood to make sure it's not about the pictures on the wall. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not about any of that. The memories, nope. I'm going to help him get his Gunpla collection. His Gunpla collection going to be safe. That's crazy, man. You know what?
I was like, when I read that article, the article is fairly old, but still it's a good topic to talk about.
Yeah, round of applause for her.
Yeah. Props to that lady, man.
Yeah, big salute to her for that. I mean, I don't know anyone else who would really do that. But speaking of saluting, China. Let's talk about China real quick. They're getting a 1-1 scale Freedom Gunpla. That's right.
Oh, it's irony in its entirety.
I mean, seriously, do we really need to go here? Revoke that shit. Take freedom away, and I don't mean take freedom away. It kind of sounds fucked up, doesn't it? Take freedom away from China, right? I'm just gonna say it. Fuck it. Take freedom away from China. Oh, my fault. The CCP already did. He already did it.
Shit.
Take Freedom Gundam away from China and give it to somebody else. That is absolutely ridiculous. And as far as I'm concerned, us Americans, if we don't get if we don't get freedom, I would make the bid. If I was the Gundam ambassador, I would make the bid to get Hainu. That's me. That's
the
me.
Hainu Gundam?
Yes. That's me.
Hainu for your place, Philadelphia? That's fine.
For America.
Fuck out of here. Wing Zero, motherfucker. Endless
Wing Zero is full of Basho. That's a Japanese thing, man. No.
Man. Wing Zero. You know what? If anything, I say for America, we
Wing
should just
Zero,
like, you know,
by Mr. Wing Zero, produced by Wing Zero, directed by Wing Zero, starring Wing Zero. That's what you want right now.
Hear me out. If we're gonna get a Gundam, we're just gonna go full on, and we're just gonna get a Gundam Maxter, and everyone will shut up and be quiet and happy.
Gundam Maxter.
Everyone will get a Maxter. We'll get a Maxter, and we'll be.
Statue of Liberty has to be replaced with Wing Zero.
Now,
Listen, it be in New York. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. Because look, I was like, first of all, what was it? The fucking Gundam Maxter is in Neo, New York anyway. Fucking, what was it? It's a cowboy surfing fucking American stereotype. Boxing stereotype. I was like, and you know what? If they happen to put it in Mexico, if they happen to put it in Texas, then give us a fucking Tequila Gundam then. Like, that's more American.
There's talk of the Tequila Gundam, what was it? They're trying to get the actual figure, a model kit for it now. Yeah. You know, people going to go crazy on that one.
For a master grade or a high grade?
Master grade. Oh, it's a high grade? I thought it was master grade. Yeah. Either way, Tequila Gundam's coming.
Fucking Tequila.
Look,
it is.
I'm just saying, Tequila Gundam is more. Tequila Gundam is more American than a fucking Wing Zero.
I agree.
Wing Zero and the Bolts.
What was the British Gundam?
You said Hope and Freedom. Wing Zero is not
the noble. Which one was it?
I think it was called the John Bull Gundam.
Look,
John Bull Gundam.
You cannot look. Wing Zero is not the symbol of hope and freedom, especially when it comes to its pilot. Now, if we're looking at pilots, it was oppressive. Nope.
Fuck the Angel.
Amuro Ray is the pilot of pilots when it comes to hope and freedom. Okay?
Fuck Amuro.
See? This is again.
Damn.
This is Wing Zero Taste the Golden Spray, starring Wing Zero, produced, directed, and written by Wing Zero, Mr. Wing Zero. This is what this is right now. Like no, like Wing Zero does not embody freedom like Amuro Ray embodies freedom. That's just the truth.
But I don't know. Just like I find it like it's super ironic that China got.
It's very ironic.
Gundam.
It's very ironic. Actually, it's kind of insulting, to be honest.
Freedom Gundam.
Yeah, given what China has gone, what they're doing over there, that's very insulting. Very.
Not really. I think
you know what I think would have been better. You know what I think would have been a lot better is put the Freedom Gundam in Hong Kong. There you go. Show them something.
So you want to use it as a talking point where they end up probably tearing it down anyway. Then again, that would kind of suck if they tore it down because that city's in trouble.
And you know what? I don't know. There's a stigma to it, but I just feel like if it was in China, like how legit is this Gundam? Is this like just some fans getting it together, or is this officially sanctioned by?
This is sanctioned.
No, this was sanctioned by Bandai.
This is sanctioned.
That's stupid. Still, again, it's still stupid. Like it really feels like China just like like flexing that they can just like rip shit off.
Well,
I'm guessing China likes Kira Yamato, because we don't like that motherfucker.
Well,
no one likes him.
No one likes him. Yeah.
Maybe China does.
Nobody likes Kira.
No one likes
Maybe
Kira.
China does. That's why they got the Freedom Gundam.
Still, the fact that they use freedom, that's insulting.
Okay.
It is. But like I said, speaking of ripping off, because you said just a minute ago, speaking of ripping off, CD Projekt Red doesn't think fans understand how hard it was to make Cyberpunk. They don't say we don't understand. Now look.
Oh, we don't have to understand. That's your fucking job to understand. You're the one to make a game. We understand what a game is. We understand what a finished product looks like, but that's not our job.
What's ironic?
Know how to make
What's ironic about it? If you watch the video of the developer talking about it,
I don't work
like
for
near
you.
the end of the video, he starts to tear up and cry.
Oh my god! I can just say shit. God damn! No, by all means, keep going. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's not our job to know what a fucking game is like. That's what you're fucking for. That's what you went to school for. I didn't do that. I'm just here to play a fucking finished product. I know what a finished product looks like, but you didn't give us one. So what the fuck? Why are you trying to put the shit on us? We don't know anything. That's not my fucking job.
Wait a minute.
And they made a game that's only meant to be played on PC.
Ooh.
They developed it for the PC, and the consoles were just an afterthought.
Oh my god.
All the shit that Cyberpunk has is meant to be on PC. It was never meant to be on PC.
Well, yeah, it runs fine on PC with no problem. It's just consoles got really shafted on that. They really did.
Oh, dude, yeah. Consoles got shafted hard.
They got too ambitious with that.
Well, speaking of, places that shaft people pretty hard. For those who don't know, EA Games and their bullshit. Documents say loot boxes are a cornerstone for their success.
What?
For FIFA.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, loot boxes are a cornerstone.
Stop buying FIFA games and giving them reasons to make this shit. All right, like for real. Like stop buying FIFA. Stop buying the damn loot boxes. I mean, that's the only way you can do it. Is you vote with your wallet. You can't just hope and pray and then just hope they're gonna stop
go
doing
away.
it if you're feeding bad habits.
You're feeding bad habits, and not only that, but still, EA Games again. EA Games. Challenge everything. And their bullshit buys out Metalhead Studios. So they're the people responsible for Super Mega Baseball. That's right. But they bought them out. If EA doesn't have any money that y'all keep giving them money for, and I say y'all as into the people who keep supporting FIFA, even though you're getting the same game, and they've made it known twice now that they've given you the same game and just slapped a different year on it.
Well, That's on Nintendo Switch that they're doing
Yeah,
that.
they did it on the
They're
Switch,
literally giving
yes.
you the same game, and they're just changing a few things, like the box
Yeah,
art
well,
and
yeah.
some of the
That was it. Yep.
uh,
With the Switch, they're just giving you last year's version.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's not
again.
just that.
It's a that game is a broken mess.
If EA doesn't have
Yeah, it
money from the
really is.
consumers, they can't buy out other studios. That's simple. All right?
But I want to play as Arsenal beat Chelsea. Again.
Fuck you. Fuck you. All right? It's the only way you'll ever have a dominant game against Chelsea with Arsenal is if you play an EA game. What does that tell you?
But I feel bad for the Metalhead software studio because they're gonna make them like loot box the hell out of that game.
Well, and here's the
whatever they
thing.
come up with next.
I think when companies, and this is something that we don't talk about enough, is that companies, when they are bought out, they have agreed to be bought out, which means they know that right now, and we just got finished talking about it, they're entering the empire, the evil empire. All right, and yes, I use the word evil. They're in the empire now. So whatever happens with them, they are responsible now. They are just as responsible. All right, they took the deal, they took the money, they know what they was getting themselves into. I don't want to hear they don't.
You took your hand to the devil.
Yeah,
What do you expect?
you know exactly what was going on, and now you're going to praise mediocrity. Yes, that's what you do. You run to mediocrity. And speaking of praising about mediocrity, for those who don't know, Game Journo praises auto battle mode for Nier Replicant. That's right. Now we're praising auto battle.
Yeah, they put an auto battle. They literally put a game's journo mode into Nier Replicant.
What? What kind of shit is this?
Yeah, this is fuckery. That's what it is, but it's true.
You might as well not buy it. If that's the case,
You
might
know,
as well not buy
You
the
know,
fucking
just watch a
game.
movie.
Might as well watch the game on YouTube.
So here's the thing: if you got a game journalist mode, like, what's the point of being a game journalist if you can't actually play the game and do it? At that point, why don't you just watch speedruns and then just make a notepad and write it to your fucking self?
That's
Like,
too
I'm
much work.
just saying.
That's too much work as well.
Like, I'm just saying, like, just watch someone else fucking play the game. Why do you gotta do it that way? Well, you know what? If that's you're gonna be your game journalist, then why don't you instead of just fucking making money off of doing absolutely nothing, why don't you actually employ someone that knows how to play a game? Why don't you get some speedrunners or maybe someone in the gaming community that could actually play games for you, make your footage for you, and then after that, and then you study them or
It's
something.
very interesting.
I don't know. I'm saying because that's very close to what you're trying to do.
It's very interesting that you say that because we will be talking about it down the line. We will. Trust me. We got some news for y'all today. But let's talk about Netherealm. That's right. Netherealm Studios is possibly making a Marvel fighting game. And now we're finding out that it's possibly rumored that they'll be making a DC versus Marvel fighting game. How y'all feel about that?
I'm a little iffy with Netherealm Studios.
I think everyone's been wanting a DC versus Marvel game.
Well, they've shown that they can do crossovers.
For a long time.
I did
Everyone's
not.
been itching for that.
I absolutely hated DC versus Mortal Kombat. Hated it because
that was bad.
it was, you're not the IPs are not going to let people kill each other. However, Injustice, I'm sure people love. I'm sure that they can do the same thing with Marvel and bring both franchises together. I'm sure they're going to DLC the shit out of you and season pass the shit out of you.
Of course.
Yeah. That's going to be, I think, the biggest problem with this is going to be the company tactics.
I don't think
use.
I'm not a big enough DC fan to fully appreciate Injustice.
Okay.
No, here's the
Because
funny
a lot of these guys are like, I was like, a lot of the characters, I'm like, I don't know who the fuck they are, and they literally look like caricatures of what superheroes look like. To me.
Damn.
I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying, they literally look like we got superheroes at home.
Damn.
That's how it looks like to me. I'm like I said, I'm not the biggest DC fan. I don't know jack squat about them other than Batman and Superman, and that's it. And like maybe Robin or some shit.
He's not
like I don't know who the hell any of these other no names are.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Odin's son, that's you.
Dying.
That's Odin's son.
I don't know.
No, I'm still here.
He got hit. So he was talking about the Marvel stuff. It was like, hit him with it. Like, don't say anything, Thor.
Nothing. I'm not like a huge Marvel fan. Like, oh well, that means you must love Marvel too. Trust me, I'm just more familiar with Marvel, but I wouldn't say I'm a fanboy. I'm just not that versed. I don't think I can.
DC.
I can fully appreciate DC games as much as an average DC enjoyer.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's not
my
that.
thing my thing is with Netherealm Studios is just like, if they do bring out this Marvel versus DC game, like
I think they can pull it off.
No, here's the thing. 5 months later, Game of the Year edition.
He's right. You know
Plus
what?
more
He's bringing up something really. You're absolutely right. I think because NetherRealm and their fans have a tendency of dropping their games so quickly. You get, 3 to 4 months out of it until the next one rolls over, and then they abandon it like it's nothing to it. They do this with.
Well, it's kind of weird that you say that because, like, if you look at it right now, Injustice 2 has been supported for quite a while, but then if you look at it now with Mortal Kombat 11, this is the longest time they've ever supported a game thus far. So
until the next one comes out.
When you think about it, and they haven't put an Injustice game out or another Mortal Kombat, I mean, there's kind of some validity behind this. That
they're focused on 11.
That NetherRealm could be working
they
on.
They could have,
a Marvel game.
We know they can do crossover characters with no problem. I mean, I don't think their metal should be tested on that one anymore. You know what I mean? If they got it right or not. I think that this is going to come down to a milk. They're going to have your DLC, your Game of the Year editions, your season passes, and it's all, I think. You're going to have WB in this, and then you got to worry about Disney with their Marvel IPs and what actual characters can do what. Because we saw what happened with Marvel when they
Marvel Infinite.
What they did with Infinite, Capcom. So Capcom had their hands tied on that one. So I mean, we'll have to see what comes from it. But I would just say, get ready to hit a block button. That's all I'm gonna say. Get ready to hit a block button. That's what they do. So.
I kind of agree with Cody. Like, I'm very hesitant with this because it could lead to good things, but at the same time, you know how NetherRealm's been like when it comes to past games, and I've seen it going to be like a Street Fighter thing. They're going to put like 4 or 5 season passes and then go, well, here's the Champions Edition.
They're going to hit you a number of editions before it even comes out the market, and then they'll hit you later with a Game of the Year edition, and then later again hit you with more season passes. And
ultra.
I have a friend that wants me to play Mortal Kombat 11. I'm like, what makes you think I'm gonna get that game if I didn't get Injustice 2?
Damn, he called it Injustice. Oh wait, lick a shot. And I don't know if y'all caught that one. All right,
Injustice 2.
Injustice.
We're gonna give you the game, and then like 5 months later, Game of the Year edition with all the DLC, and then add more DLC on top of that.
God.
I don't know about any of this DLC nonsense that's going on. I mean, I know there's. I remember I have it on Game Pass. I played it, and then I'm still missing like 4 heroes, and it's like the ultimate whatever bullshit edition. So it's like, so I'm like, okay,
it can't be ultimate if you don't have them all. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like some kind of something edition of the game, but
they're saying unjust ass frauds among us.
I played it. It plays like Mortal Kombat. Like it has its own little spin on it, kind of like how the Street Fighter X Tekken was to the Street Fighter 4 formula. It's kind of similar. Like they spun it into its own. Although it was based off of like previous engine.
But
I mean, it's fine for what it is. I just wasn't a fan of all the characters.
Okay, well, that's fine.
I'm pretty sure if you're a DC fan, then I mean that's what you got right now.
Yeah, and that's what you do.
But then also, I mean, when you look at the grand scheme of things like NetherRealm has got a pretty good, solid, good track record. Like if anything, I think they can find a way to make it work.
Yeah, well, so I think they'll find a way to make it work. I'm just not happy with the company policies that they use. That's all it is.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like the funny thing is, like the only reason I played in Injustice was for fucking Zatanna, and that was my launch title game for PS4.
Yeah, see. So there you go.
I only got Injustice the Ultimate Edition last year.
So magician booty slut.
Yeah, pretty much.
She ain't a booty slut.
See, you're insulting the waifu. You're insulting the waifu. You can't do that with him. You know that.
I initially got Injustice 1 simply for the fact because I could play as Superman. So
see, there you go. See, so I mean, and they had to nerf him. So you know how that goes. But it also comes down to community. If it will be, like you said, if it will be accepted, and I think it really will be. But speaking of community, Monster Hunter, real quick. We found out yesterday. Yeah, we found out yesterday that they're trying to act a little elitist over Monster Hunter, that people are not being very welcomed into the scene now. Let me just say this real quick because I'm not going to harp on this too much, all right? We've always had this problem when it comes to Monster Hunter. You have elitist hunters out there.
Gatekeeping never works out.
Never, it's especially in Monster Hunter's case. However, you have to understand that in the end of it all, Monster Hunter has always been an open community. You've always had your assholes in it. What you do is you either toss them aside or you completely ignore them because there's too many people in the community that are willing to help you. So when someone comes to me and says, this is about drama, I say, fuck off, because it's not drama. And I'm not saying that in general. I'm saying that in general because Monster Hunter has dealt with this for so long when it comes to it. All you have to do is just be like, fuck them, don't listen to them. But going on Twitter and crying about it isn't going to get the job done. What you do is you say, hey, look, I don't like the way I was treated, or I don't like the way this person's being treated. Is there a hunter out there who will help? That's all you have to do. That's all you have to say. There's no reason to put anybody on blast when it comes to Monster Hunter due to the fact that, let's be honest here, if you want to put them on blast, it's only going to make them more popular when it comes to Monster Hunter. It's not it's not that type of community.
Like, from what I can tell is the Monster Hunter community is very welcoming.
They're very welcoming. Yeah. It's not a community where if you put somebody on blast, they'll be like, oh well, fuck that guy. They don't do that. Not in the Monster Hunter community. They don't do that. As much as they should, they don't.
We have our own way of doing it.
Yeah, we have our own way of doing things. It's not like any other community. So that's why you say, okay, in your personal aspect, you say, okay, fuck that guy. I'm just going to go look for for more people who can help me or want to be good. You know what I mean? Want to be part of a good community. That's what it's always been with Monster Hunter, and I think that's what needs to be taken away from that. Obviously, if your fan base gets bigger, then you're going to have more assholes come in. You just are. All right, or more randoms come in and they think this is how it operates. No, that's not how it is. When I found out whoever the person was, I was like, who's the person doing this? And they told me who it was. I was like, never heard of him. Never heard of him. Oh, well, fuck them. You know what I mean? Focus on the positive in the Monster Hunter community. That's all you can do. It's not like every other community. So you can't compare the two because there's too many people, too many kind people out there that can help, you know? But I do have some good news. Monster Hunter Rise outsells Street Fighter V in one month. I want to
its first month of launch. Yeah, its first month
of
and
launch.
It completely
Jesus Christ.
beat it out.
Yeah, that one also deserves an applause. I mean, come on. Street Fighter V you had to wait for how long? How long to get a full product? And people still trying to praise it and everything. Monster Hunter was like, here you go. Oh, you need DLC? Here it is for free. You know what I mean?
It beat Monster Hunter outsold it in Street Fighter V's entirety.
Yeah, it killed it in its entirety. And yeah, there are two different types of things, but it goes to show you that Capcom is starting to wake up and say, hey, Monster Hunter is actually a force to be reckoned with, and right now it leads our division. So we got to put other things on the back burner. See a Street Fighter for a while. That's how I see it. If you think they were having,
you know what they need to do.
Go ahead.
No, you know what Capcom really needs to do is they just need to make another Darkstalkers or Capcom vs. SNK 3.
We're not getting to that because we already tried that. Remember, they had people putting up dollar bills to show that, we want a new Darkstalkers. They had that fool up there lying to y'all, telling y'all going to get a new one because the money is there. Show the people what they want. And the people stupid enough pull money out their pockets, and I'm thinking to myself, if that was a criminal, he's like, that person. All these people got money. I'm looking to rob them. You know what I mean?
Oh, but the reason why we never got it was supposedly after they put out that compilation thing, they said that nobody bought it. There was not enough.
No one bought it. Yeah. So they promised you. So they promised you something, and you didn't really get it. They weren't going to spend. They weren't going to take the risk. Oh, well, the compilation didn't do well, so you don't get a future game. So you have to pretty much support the one game in order to get it. And I've seen that tactic a lot as of late. I'm sorry, but if I want a new Darkstalkers game, I don't want the old ones. I want you to give me the new one. Yeah. I already got the old ones. I already got those. Come on. Come on, man.
But their whole thing was that oh well, they didn't buy the Darkstalkers compilation enough there, so there wasn't enough attention to it. So I was like, sorry.
That's a damn lie because there's a lot of people that actually brought that shit.
Hey, that's
I brought it.
That was Capcom for its for its time. But Street Fighter V, they still try to say, hey, Street Fighter V, we got to keep it alive. We got to keep it alive. And every year it goes by, it's like, goddamn, game I still don't like the game.
That's like
so
literally one of 3 games that they're using to stay alive right now.
Yeah, and Monster Hunter, I said Monster Hunter was just taking off. They're like, nah, I got this. I'll carry you all on my back right now. That's what they're doing.
No, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And then followed by Resident Evil.
Yeah, and then Devil May Cry.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, DMC5. Yeah.
So it's right there. So Capcom, like I said, they have their big shots, but Street Fighter right now is looking really bad. Those other games are doing well, and the fan bases are doing great. They're just rolling around in candy. So that's what they love. But speaking of candy, a UK couple has had a falling out over GTA 5 on Xbox. And if this isn't the most privileged shit I've seen.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's wishing people to get cancer and all kinds of shit simply because they don't want to play with you right now. What the fuck?
They got bent out of shape because the person that they asked to play with them is like they couldn't do it at the moment. They got butthurt about it.
Yeah, a couple. And I'm like, yo, if you see the picture, I'm like, yo, they don't even look like they like each other. They don't. Like they look like they got contempt for each other the entire time. I'm like, man, I just didn't understand it. Why would you get mad because someone can't play with you right now? Like, pause on that.
Hey, yeah. So this couple proceeded to troll this person hard because they just said, "I can't play right now."
You just see the lawyers like trying to defend him. So
yeah, imagine being the defense lawyer. Yeah, see what happened was, Judge.
Oh boy,
I feel bad for the lawyer.
Say, I wish you had cancer. I think you should maybe get checked out. Maybe.
I just didn't understand it. I'm telling you. But we do have
shit.
we still have some news though for y'all.
Next topic.
Toys for Bob is solely doing work for Call of Duty Season 3. Now, before anyone gets upset, let me give you the next news, the big news. Now, we talked about it earlier today, but we have some for you. Rambo, Terminator, and Diehard legacy operators are coming to Call of Duty Warzone and mobile on May 20th. That's right.
Wild, dude. So you're going to see John McClane, Rambo, and the Terminator.
And the Terminator, T-800.
In Call of Duty.
In Call of Duty. It's really interesting due to the fact that it almost reminds me of Day After Daylight. I mean, I'm sorry. Dead by Daylight, yeah. Where you have these guest characters, from other horror franchises come in. Now they're bringing in the action heroes for action games to keep it, keep stability going. Say, get out of my court. But I mean, it sounds cool. I mean, we'll see what they do, but I mean, Call of Duty and Rambo. I'm shocked that they put Terminator in it because I would have thought they put Commando in it, but they didn't. And John McClane is more of a beat cop, but given the other Die Hard movies, they turned him to a damn superhero, unstoppable killing machine. So it's kind of hard to take that. I believe this: if they put a Nakatomi Plaza board in, I may just have to get Call of Duty Warzone. I may have to get that. So yeah.
John McClane.
So I mean, yeah. So
yeah, you'll be able to play as those 3, legendary, action heroes.
Yes, sir.
In Warzone.
Yep. So it's going to be very
and you got to pay for them as well.
But speaking of interesting,
if it's the Terminator, damn it, Arnold better voice the damn character because I was pissed with MK11.
Well, yeah, his voice wasn't in it. His likeness, but not his voice. Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, speaking of voices, thank you for saying that. Speaking of voices, I don't know how much this is going to shock people, but Riot Games begins recording voice chats in Valorant to catch toxic players. So now they're going to be recording your voice chats.
Yep.
So
they're going to listen into your conversations and decide whether or not you're a toxic player or not.
Yep. They're going to decide.
The problem is that's a huge privacy issue. And you have to get permission off, what's her face? You need to get permission off that's Discord itself, and even then, like there's certain laws, like privacy laws, that you can't do that. You have to be 2 consents in order to do that.
Yeah, for me,
okay.
It's
well,
one of those things.
It's fucked up, and the whole thing is that they shouldn't even be doing that in the first place.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Yeah, you
especially
really
when
don't.
it comes to the games.
Yeah.
But I mean, I put it like this: people are going to be nasty regardless. If you're in chats anyway, 9 times out of 10, you probably have your own chat group as it is. For probably a static team that you play with anyway. So you two are going to be, I should say your group is going to be, having fun. I just don't see how it's going to help any, really. I mean,
It's not. It's gonna make things worse.
I mean, I can see if you're in a lobby with randoms, but we don't see that these days, and no one's really paying attention. Trust me, it kind of polices itself because anybody who's playing these games 9 times out of 10 these days are recording the sessions anyway. And yeah, go ahead and be toxic in someone's session. Guess what? It's getting uploaded, buddy. Welcome to the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
So somebody that's streaming the game, they've got you on video right there anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have you anyway, so it doesn't really matter. They do it with everything else. I mean, it's not like this is like a shock and awe moment. I mean, Sony's already doing it with their chats in general. I mean, but I'm wondering, the concern I have is how is a company going to be able to tell the difference between banter and toxicity? You know what I mean? That's the difference.
You're probably not going to be able to, because again, it all goes by how you guys banter, like how we are to each other.
Yeah, we always banter. We have all kinds of bants. Yeah.
But they can say like, "Well, that's malicious. You're being nasty. You're bullying people. How dare you?"
Yeah, exactly.
But you're not. You're trying to fucking. Again, if any of these went to a fucking British pub, they wouldn't last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Or what they call them malicious.
Yeah, and that's the problem I'm going to have with that. That's what the concern for me is. It's like we're having banter, and all of a sudden one of us is banned. What did you do? Oh, well, he was being nasty to you, dude. He's fucking with me just like I'm fucking with him. What's the problem?
Yeah.
Like, it's
literally going to come down to their choice of what they view as toxic.
Yeah, and everyone, and that's the thing. Everyone has a different comfort level, so you don't know. I mean,
but you have to pay close attention to the TOS. And I would certainly recommend don't play it. Just play another game. There's plenty of efficiency
at this point. But speaking of playing, the UK investigates Bet1X Global for their ties to see what else they got their hands into now.
Yep, so, they're under investigation right now.
Under investigation, as they should be. I mean, like I said, if you're going to start trying to game the system, if you try to game the system and you see what's going on, like I said, we talked about this before earlier today, about, people like who have multi-million dollars and they're investing in, like I said, these guys don't lose. There's a reason they're on the top, at the top of the food chain. They don't lose. So it'll be interesting to see how far that goes. You know what I mean? And what type of support this investigation gets as well. Now, if y'all okay,
go on.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, it's like, for what I've seen, it's like one of them is about like chicken fighting, cat fighting.
I was to say, you called it chicken fight. Nope, call it what it is. I need you to call it what it is. Nope.
Bunch of cocks fighting.
Yep, that's what I want to hear.
I've got balls of steel.
Sticky situation.
But yeah, it is one of those sticky situations. But if y'all want something to really get mad over, here you go. What about support?
I got something real quick to get mad over. HOAs. They're bullshit. They made me clean my they made me clean my mailbox because they said, "Hey, we're gonna fine you because it looks dirty."
What? Wait, where?
I just remembered that just now.
My God!
I just wanted to bring.
What the fuck?
They give me a fucking letter saying this is a courtesy notice. If you happen to let this continue, they can result in a fine.
Bro,
because the mailbox is dirty.
Just I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's out of fucking nowhere. No, I had that shit in the chamber. Like,
you
I
just
didn't even
forgot
know.
about it. Dude, that's a late pull. I'm just saying. I gave y'all just the rant earlier and how y'all weekend was. It's a late fucking pull. Oh my God.
Man, I'm just saying. I had to get that out. All right, go ahead.
You know what? Then we'll steam it right into this. Then we'll snowball right into the next one. Sony is charging for cross-play support for your games.
Oh yeah, they are. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up because they feel like they're not that if somebody gets a game and plays it on a different platform, they're losing money. Bullshit.
It's bullshit. They're not losing. They're losing on anything. They're not. Right. And it's funny because it's only Sony. If you notice in these previous couple of pods we did, we've seen a lot coming from Sony. All types of patents and all kinds of stuff. And it's like, dude, what is Sony doing? It seems like every week or every 2 weeks, they get more and more arrogant. And we were talking.
Is it that saying, baby, what is you doing?
Yeah, well, yeah, oh, baby, what is you doing, baby? What is you doing? Like,
that's exactly it.
Wrong. But you were talking about earlier how pro players, why don't you just, push them to pro players when it comes to auto mode? I'm sorry, auto battle. That's exactly what we're going to talk about right now, because Sony files a patent for help from expert game players to give control to pro players and play for them. So that's where we're going now.
This is a patent for a PS5 that they put in for.
Yeah. Ain't that something? So imagine the dynamic here of how much. I mean, what's the contract going to be for pro players? Are they going to get paid for this? Are you just going to be tied? There has to be some type of contractual thing. And the fact that they have a screening test for these pro players or to become a pro player, and I say that with air quotes, is absolutely crazy. So, I mean, are you going to go by, well, how about this guy's #1 ranked in the world? Does he still have to take, or she have to take the test?
Well, no, that's the thing. Anybody can apply for it. You, me, anybody. Anybody can apply for this. You just have to get approved by Sony to become a quote-unquote pro player. Mm-hmm. So part of this patent is that it'll give you the option if you're having trouble playing a game. This is on PS5, by the way. And if you're having too much trouble beating this game, you can ask a pro player to help you with it, and even more so, you can actually turn control over to that pro player and allow them to play the whole segment for you.
Yeah.
God, I sleep.
So that's like game journalist mode 2.0.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you've got auto battle, and now you have a patent that can tap into pro players. And what's it going to be?
You know what? I think about this pro players. I'm gonna sound
Nintendo
like
Hotline. Anybody?
Yeah, I was about to say back in my day, we had the Nintendo Hotline.
We call the hotline, yeah.
we call the hotline. You had to pay money for that shit.
We bought strategy guides.
What the fuck is the
like $1 a minute or some shit like that, wasn't it?
It was something.
It was $1 a minute. $1 a minute.
So think about though. We've got before you go over. Just think about this though for a minute. We've got a patent to get pro players to play your games for you, or you can do auto battle mode for everything. That's crazy.
That's if they implement it, but it's only right now. It's in Nier Replicant, which is really bad because then after that, they could literally implement that into other games.
I was about to say that's a very interesting move from someone like Yoko Taro to just be like, oh yeah, we're gonna have an
kidding.
Like that's very uncharacteristic of something that he would put his name on,
Well, here's
he's all about like adding weird spins and challenges.
Well, Yoko Taro's a very eccentric person.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. What the fuck is the point of having a video game console?
Like I said, it's a movie. It's a movie.
Yeah. What the fuck is the point of playing games in general if that's the cause?
Well, the same thing can be said. What's the point of reviewing a game at that point if you're gonna just watch it play for you?
Now they're saying that. Isn't that what share play is for already? Yes, but now you're getting the top 1% players in the world to help you. So the question now becomes, how much are they getting paid? Do they have to put in a 9-to-5 job for hours? Or is this a part-time gig? Or is this a solo contracted thing? Like, how far do you go with this when it comes to those pro players?
To be honest, I think it's ridiculous that it's even a fucking thing. I think that if you are doing this thing, you need to get paid properly. I don't trust Sony to fucking give you that contract.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking benefits. We're talking unions. We're talking. Yeah. See, it opens up a wide door.
You're technically an employee at that point.
Exactly. Or independent contractor.
Where's my pension option?
Yeah. If you're not an employee, then you're an independent contractor. How will they?
That's the other thing too. As I read the article, like I didn't see anything about money or being paid for it, but as far as I know, that it's a program that you can sign up for, and then depending on whether or not you get approved.
So let me get it straight. Sony is complaining about wanting to get paid for crossplay, but they want gamers to give their free time without getting paid to help other gamers. I mean, they do that already, but they want to bank off of that by having a patent for it. What the fuck?
Yeah, so right now, but again, this is just a patent right now, so I have no idea if Sony will implement it. I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
Oh boy.
But supposedly this is where the direction that Sony's trying to go.
And it's not a smart one.
I don't think it's a smart one either.
It's a terrible idea.
It's one of those things where it's you do it because you don't want other people to either do it themselves, so you hold the patent so you can sue somebody, or you do it yourself. Either way, it's a win-win for them, and it's money in their pocket. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it's true. Now, we can move on, because, like I said, we had some other things we had talked about, but we're kind of a little strained for time here. So, here we go. We got a good debate coming up, which, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to give y'all the bell on this one, okay? I'm just letting y'all know, because as far as I'm concerned, we got to have another great debate today, okay? But those who do not know, Usher, okay? Usher has decided that he's going to make Usher bucks. He actually went to Las Vegas. He had money with his face on it and was giving it out to the strippers and everything. So our debate is, what would you rather have, Bison dollars or Usher bucks? Which one?
I want Bison dollars.
I'm riding with the Bison dollars.
Oh, I pick.
I mean, Bison dollars. I mean, what the hell, Usher bucks? But what is it? What are they? How can you redeem them? Like for what? Do you get something like off his website? Like I don't get it. Like what the fuck? Can you use it at the gift shop?
Look, for what I've seen, it looks like it's a rollout, and I don't know if a lot of people know what a media rollout is, but that's what it feels like to me. I have not, like dug and say, oh, is he coming out with a new album or something? But usually when someone does something like this, a lot of grandstanding and stuff like that, it's a media rollout for something big to come up. So that's what I'm thinking.
Usher, a one-hit wonder to me.
Usher, a one-hit wonder? What? What?
Yeah, he's
what?
Like
You must be out your motherfucking mind. You are crazy to sit here and say that Usher is a one-hit wonder. What kind of backwards ass take is that? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Usher is a legend in R&B and hip hop. You might wait. What is his one hit? Tell me, what's the one hit you say is? What's the one hit? Huh?
Oh man, somebody said fuck his music too.
Well, it's fine. Look, if you don't like his music, that's fine. But to call him a one-hit wonder is crazy.
Well, that's what I think of him. It's not nothing bad. It's just I didn't really like his music that much.
Wait, okay, but you call him a one-hit wonder. What's the one hit?
Okay, I'll retract my statement there.
Okay, retract yourself. Okay.
Happy Chelsea for happy.
People saying the probably the one with Pitbull. Look, he did. Yeah, he's done Confessions. He's done Lovers and Friends. You know, what's it? Make you the one you're with. I mean, he's had a ton of them. He's got a ton of hits, and that's just a couple I named. He's got hits on top of hits. I mean, that's crazy.
Oh, I'll retract my statement. I'm wrong name.
You got that right. You're wrong. You're about to piss off all the R&B and hip hop with that one.
Okay, I piss people off though.
Yeah, he's an R&B legend, man. You can't say that. I mean, if you don't like his music, that's cool. I'm not gonna get on you about that. Okay. But to say, wait, oh no, but still.
So please don't cancel me, guys. Yeah. On Twitter.
But no.
You guys forgot the one thing that I would prefer. And that's the Carl Baskin and Tiger playing on. That's fuck yeah.
Okay, well, look.
Because Carl Baskin will kill me if I don't say that.
Are we all on in agreement that Bison dollars would kill Usher bucks? Are we all in agreement on that?
Yeah, Bison dollars all the way.
Yep.
So Bison bucks. Okay, Bison bucks wins the Usher bucks. It's funny that Usher would come out with Usher bucks in a time where cryptocurrency is going up. It's really interesting.
Yeah. Maybe it could be NFT. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. Like I said, when people post things like this, it's a media rollout for something bigger. That's coming up. He must have a song coming out, or an album coming out, or something. He must be in the studio doing something. So, also, he's got to be. But I want to talk about more because we're talking about the digital stuff. So the DigiDog. Now, if y'all remember the last pod, I don't know. We're on episode 4 now. So. The DigiDog that NYPD has now canceled the DigiDog trial after blowback from the public. That's right. And again, I have to say this. It is not the dog's fault. It's not the robot's fault. It's the person who is commanding it. It's the station, the police station, or whoever's in charge that's putting them there. There is nothing wrong with the damn DigiDog. So that's what, $45,000 flushed down the drain in New York? 45,000?
45,000.
Yeah, 45,000 for that dog. The trial's over now. So taxpayers just got hit in New York.
So it was like, this is the problem. I don't like robots at all. I think it's the future I don't want, because I think it's going to lead down a bad path. But at the same time, I'm not going to fucking say it's racist because it's a fucking dog.
Well, you live in a certain part of it, and I'll just say it. I mean, you live in a certain part of the world where a lot of your freedoms are gone, and they're slowly disappearing.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be kind of like this whole, that's just how it is, and y'all are just supposed to sit there and take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
that's the thing,
yeah,
you gotta fight
I
back.
could see your fear of the of robots, the robot dogs and everything like that taking over is valid.
I mean,
Yeah,
we just talked about Skynet.
The thing is, what I'm trying to say is that, in the UK they got an overreaching government that's too big for its britches. They literally, the thing is, they treat it just like exactly how it sounds. They're going to be like, we are the government, you are the subjects. I'm not even here to serve you. The government's supposed to serve the people.
They talk about firing the governor of New York. Look, they not going to fire him. You want to know why? Because he's opening up New York July 1st at 100%, and he legalized weed. They happy. They're not getting rid of him.
That's all he had to do.
That's all he had to do was legalize weed.
That's all he had to do to stay in good graces.
Yep. That's it.
You know what?
Not
That's
getting rid
the
of
thing.
him.
That's the thing. That doesn't change the fact he's still a piece of shit.
Oh, I agree. I agree fully.
He's a piece
He's a piece of shit. He's a real piece of shit.
Yeah, with him lying about the
Cuomo.
Cuomo.
the death
lying
of all those
those
elderly.
people. Yep. Stacking up them bodies and saying, "Oh no, this didn't really happen on our watch," and it was actually more than what it was. Yeah, like he's a real piece of shit.
Him and Gavin Newsom. Have you noticed all these coastal cities are always having the most fucking problems?
Yeah, I've noticed.
I wonder what the common denominator is about these. But I'm not gonna get into.
I just think it's people who are greedy. I think that's all it really is. It's greed. At the end of the day, it comes down to green.
Like, look, sorry, California viewers, if there's anyone in Cali, but look, honestly, the government, Newsom needs to fucking go. Fucking just like you said, New York mayor needs, governor needs to fucking go.
They said Texas need to go too. What now? What now?
No. Okay, you know what? Fine. Bye.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they're saying. They're saying Texas need to go too.
Fine. Bye then. We don't need the U.S. Fucking, we'll secede.
That's perfect. He gonna try to secede again.
And we'll successfully do it too.
Everyone forgets. Fucking the U.S. The reason why Texans are so fucking proud of their state is because we were a republic. We were our own damn country before we joined the fucking U.S. Ain't no one else can say that shit.
That don't matter though.
Also, no one else's flag flies high as the others.
Dude, y'all almost froze to death this year. Y'all understand that, right?
Okay,
Look,
I'm gonna definitely say that's their fuck up. They did that to us.
I also say that's unseasonable because that doesn't happen out of nowhere.
Regardless
you know
if it's
what?
unseasonable or not.
I'm willing to say.
But they have no, because they had 10 years,
Yeah,
10
to get it together.
freaking
Yeah, they
years
had 10
to be
years.
able to get ahead of that. And they felt, no, we want to save money, so we're not going to do shit about it.
And people suffered.
And then you got people like Ted fucking Cruz deciding to want to take a trip down to Mexico.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not dealing with this shit.
I'm being a good dad.
Nope.
Fuck you, Ted Cruz.
He's like that. Australian mayor.
That's what I'm talking about. Cut his hair. He's trying to get that mullet. Cut his hair.
The whole mentality about that is I want him to be as miserable as me. And not like, fucking leave. I mean, I don't know.
He took off. He was like, I'm getting on a plane. I'm out of here.
That's either, you know what? That can go either way. That argument can go either way. He got caught. Caught for doing
and
what?
he tried to fix it. He tried to turn it around.
Caught for doing what? Leaving because he didn't want to fucking be miserable and cold? Anyone else would have done it. Anyone else would have fucking
okay. All right, let's go ahead and talk about Beto O'Rourke then. Then. let's go and talk about Beto O'Rourke. You know what he was doing? He was helping people get groceries, and he was helping load water into their cars. What the fuck was Ted Cruz doing?
That's good for fucking Beto O'Rourke. If he wanted to, that's his own prerogative. That's his own fucking
Ted
prerogative.
Cruz could have been a nice guy and could have done the same thing.
I have to agree
See,
here.
again, you're measuring other people's. You're comparing people to people.
But
the thing is,
but that's their job, though. They're a public servant. That's his job.
That's exactly.
Let's think about this. Somebody that wasn't even from our fucking state raised money for us.
Who raised money for us?
AOC.
And for what? Why did she do it? Why did she raise the money for her own fucking brownie points?
I think it was I think it was a gotcha to Ted Cruz because they got beef with each other. To be honest.
Yeah, that's all it is.
That one.
It was a reactionary thing. That's all it was.
Okay. Well, then, then let's put this into perspective. What about his dog? He left his fucking dog there in the house to freeze.
Damn.
And the guard outside was the one that took care of the fucking animal.
Wait a minute.
Again.
God.
It doesn't.
Dog was like
a
healing.
That's what I'm saying. It can go either way. He could have took the dog with him.
He could have took the dog with him.
He could have took the dog with him. But at the end of the day, is a dog fine? Does he still have his dog?
Well, someone else had to take care of it. That's why.
Exactly. He had someone else take care of it. He got shit. He got his family. He got out. Now again, just like you said, he is a public. He is a public servant.
You would take your family pet with you so you don't freeze to death.
Your pet's supposed to be part of your family, right? That's what they keep telling us.
They tell you that. Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, now this is the point where we're getting where instead of saying, "Oh, this is what happened in Texas," now we're picking straws, be like, he left his fucking dog in the cold.
Well,
because you want something, you're like, Ted Cruz did something wrong. Let me look here. Oh yeah, he fucking left his dog in the cold.
I think it's a valid point because Ted Cruz, being a public servant, wasn't being a very servant type person. He wasn't a man of the people. That's how I see it. He wasn't a man of the people.
All politicians, so. Like, do you think all the politicians go to shit about us? Like, as soon as you realize, look, let's look at.
No, you don't. At this point, they don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you just gotta look at it this way. Like, let's look how we dealing with shit. You guys are getting the same fucking shit. So, just see it. All politicians are bad people.
What we're speaking about, though, brings us to our next topic, and this is a good one. Court TV, their pundits, and their fans who become obsessed with the killers. Okay.
So stupid.
Yeah. Now we know that we're still in the same thing here because as we know, when people get on court TV or whatever and they're the defendant, they're guilty before innocent. We know that because that's how court TV paints everything, right? I mean, that's what they do. In this case,
it's drama.
Well, that's what it is. It's drama, but it brings so much.
It's like an episode of fucking Ace Attorney where everyone's guilty and you got to prove your innocence.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And I think that people who buy into that, these personalities, because I mean, David Otunga was on this motherfucker not too long ago, and I'm like, wait a minute, you was just body slamming people a couple of years ago in WWE. Now you're a pundit for being a lawyer. I mean, we knew he always had the education, but it's kind of weird to see, that transfer from wrestler to lawyer in the punditry or the peasantry, whatever you want to call it. I think it's very snake oil like. I feel.
Wasn't Jesse Ventura a lawyer at one point too?
Jesse Ventura ended up being a governor, didn't he?
Yeah, he was a governor.
He was a governor, but
he became a governor.
But then he raised Mexico, and I don't see it the way he is now.
So yeah, I mean, it's clearly for me, it's kind of hard when you see people who are. I'm not the type to get obsessed with like serial killers, but it's because of places like Court TV where it's hard to get a fair trial due to the fact that they put out so much information or their own narrative that it's hard for you to find a balanced and fair jury. It's hard.
It's like and I think Court TV is a problem as well because when it comes to court, it's never that dramatic, and especially when it comes to murder trials, it's not nice to go through that shit, and you have to be specifically unbiased when it comes to those decisions.
It's very hard to be unbiased when it's a big trial case, and I'll say this now, Jodi Arias, I think you need to write me a letter, honey. I'm just saying, even though you're crazy as shit. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that it just seems like when you watch these cases, I think a lot of the other side, because especially in Jodi Arias' case, I'm not going to defend her. She's crazy. But old boy was not, oh, this is such a good boy. He's a Christian boy. Blah, blah. He wasn't. He clearly wasn't. I don't care who I offend on this one because both of them did dirt. You know what I mean? For that type of reaction, to get that type of brutal type of murder to happen. Like, they were both bad for each other. I think this happens a lot where you see, you know, there's the defendant's story, there's, you know, the prosecution story, and then there's the truth. You know what I mean? And I think that we don't see that enough because court TV kind of gets in the way of those things. And then you get these super fans who automatically pick sides. Like I said to y'all earlier, ain't no one gonna check me. You know what I'm saying? I decide what side I'm on. No one's going to decide that for me. But you see these people who do that constantly, and they try to bring it to this type of, you know, this type of narrative. They try to spin it. And before you know it, you're seeing the same 4 or 5 faces on TV getting paid a lot of money, you know what I mean, just for that one case. And then as soon as that case is over, they roll over to a different case. I mean, we've seen this way too many.
Because it's television. So they gotta...
They have to keep it
do
going.
it somehow.
The machine has to keep going. It has to. But they get on there and they say these such outlandish things. Nancy Grace was a big, you know, problem at one point. When they did the thing with the Chris Benoit, when they talked about wrestling and Kevin Nash was trying to tell her about steroids, and he was laughing at her because she didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. You know, like...
Didn't she do the Ultimate Warrior one, or someone else who did it?
I think so. I mean, it just felt like, for me, I think that court TV is very disingenuous. I think that there are some facts that are, you know, that they do tell you, but they have such a sensationalistic way of going about things that it doesn't feel real at times because the way they, you know, present themselves, you know, like the man had met this woman. Dun, dun, dun. You know, no. Let me do this the right way. The man met this woman. And then all of a sudden, it spiraled. You know what I mean? Like, that's how they do it. It's like there's no reason for all that.
What was it? There was a meme I saw actually about that the other day. It was like showing a group photo of people. They were all friends, and then the photo turns to a negative until they weren't.
Yeah, like, until they weren't. Exactly.
Exactly. Meme about that. It was like
sounds like a movie trailer.
It does. That's how they push it in a world where people didn't know each other. You know, like that's how they do it. And for me, it's so sensational that you cannot believe that the facts are facts because the way they lay it all out for you.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Exactly. Tell us where the kids are. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, it's. And then when you start watching, you start, you know, of course, you slowly start. You can't go by what they say. You can never go by what the pundits say. You can only go by what they're showing on TV when it comes to live court. And you can tell when someone's bluffing and calling bullshit and all this stuff. You can tell. You know what I mean? So that's where you get the real meat. But the way they set it up before you get in there, they almost want you to already have a preconceived notion on who did it before it happens, and that is destructive.
They want you to know who they think is the bad guy.
Yeah,
and all this.
Exactly, and that is destructive to the court systems that we have here today.
So it's also a very double standard as well because you can't do that in court. You have to be unbiased.
Yeah, you have to be unbiased.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, you do.
That's what I said. If I was on trial and they said that was a jury of my peers, I'd be like, nah, that's not a jury of my peers because they've got preconceived notions about me.
Yeah, they had already wrote you off.
Yeah, they've already wrote me off. So yeah, you goddamn right I'm not gonna get in trouble. That's why you see a lot of people like, yo, I'm gonna take the plea deal. Well, you didn't do it. Yeah, well, look at that jury. I don't trust them. I'll take the 8 years out of 25.
The other thing I noticed too, like if you ever watch those court shows, is that right when they're about to, to say something big, it cuts the commercial.
Always, because they got to keep you on a cliffhanger. Always. When we come back, we're going to tell you exactly what's going on, and we want you to stay glued to it. And then while they're doing it, the commercials that go by are probably for upcoming cases. That's how it works.
That's just how it is. You won't believe what happens next.
Yeah, you won't believe what happens next. That's how it is. It's kind of hard to watch.
Is it all
But
like, is it all murder cases or something? Because here it's just like a real claim for shit.
No, it's they try to pick as many murder cases as possible, but it's not always. It can be rape cases. It really depends on what it is. But the biggest rated ones are usually murder cases.
Yeah, it's not like, like if you're sitting down to watch Judge Judy, this is something entirely different. Judge Judy is like small claim stuff.
Yeah. She's a TV judge. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah. Okay. Pretty much just an actor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly, more or less.
Yeah, but speaking of cases and courts and jail time, EDP445 will not be seeing any jail time and begins his own website. Now, as you know, we talked about this not too long ago where he was caught and he actually admitted to pedophilia of what was she, 13 years old? 13, I believe?
Yeah, I think it was 13, yeah.
12.
However, we know that now he's a free man. I told y'all before, we know how this go because YouTubers who always get caught in pedophile stuff or pedophilia, they always get off. But the community is actually doing something about it.
No pun intended.
Well, yeah, no pun intended. Pause.
Pause. So the reason why he didn't see jail time, it's because those predator poacher guys, fucked it all up.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The community is coming out now. Since it is such a big deal in Bakersfield, where he lives, apparently he lives across the street from a park where kids play. The community has taken it upon themselves to print out pictures of him, his real name, address, phone number, all that stuff, and slap it on a flyer all around the neighborhood. So that
good for them.
Yeah, good for them. I agree. So that people know this is a pedophile living in your neighborhood. So now it's trial by public. And while I feel this is
good and bad.
Yeah. You can't
look,
they're saying to catch a predator.
Anyway, the whole thing about the whole thing about it is now is that he's been on Facebook and he's been putting out a couple of short videos on there talking about saying that he's coming back and that he's got a website in the works.
No. Yeah, that's the big thing. He doesn't care. Look, even his best guys have turned on him. Everyone has turned on him. So he has nowhere to go. People are wishing that he kills himself. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. You know what I mean? When they're going after him. So, I mean, it is what it is at this point. But I'm happy that the community they've seen it for what it is. And they're actually, this is not like falsifying information, like and saying, hey, he's suspected of pedophilia. No, the man admitted it flat out on camera.
He actively admitted it.
He actively admitted it. So there's a difference. And still, that wasn't enough to get him convicted. Ain't that something?
It's all because of the way they did it. They just screwed it all up.
Yeah.
And ironically enough, one of the guys themselves
was a pedophile. Yeah, he was a pedophile. So, yeah. So I mean,
that's why I've kept an eye on these kind of things and like pedophile hunting because I hate pedophiles with a passion, and you can't be doing fucking shit like this because it can lead to this kind of shit. That's why you leave it to professionals. Pass your fucking information to the police so they can investigate it.
You're messing up the investigations. You're absolutely right. And speaking of investigations, Joe Exotic, that's right, from Tiger King, says he's a prisoner for political agenda.
Yeah, they said he was kidnapped. He's claiming he's been kidnapped.
He's been kidnapped for political agenda. Mind you, just to let y'all know, Tiger King Season 2 is coming out. So I'm getting that. But the absolute
Tiger King 2, Electric
Boogaloo. I mean, look, I like Joe Exotic. I think he's guilty as shit. I think he is.
That means y'all be seeing your favorite person, Carol Baskins.
No, not for season 2. She opted out of season 2.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, she opted out of season 2.
Wow.
Because her murder and her husband to be mysteriously disappeared for some reason.
Yeah, she's still under investigation for that one.
Stupid.
Yeah, she's still under investigation.
Wow,
Carol Baskin will not be in season 2.
Well, to be fair, they're gonna pick someone out with fucking.
They're asking like what else happened, and that's the thing. Netflix has already said that they've had a number of they had a lot of footage still, but they didn't know what to do with it yet. So, and then we heard, over the past year or so, when it became a big hit, how Big Cat Rescue and like all this news about how the place was taken over by Carol Baskin, Joe Exotic place was taken over by Carol Baskin, all the major players that were in it, the informants and all the people who participated also had some dirty dealings going on. We saw a little bit of that when they did that special show, but apparently there is a lot more that we do not know. So I don't know how they're going to cut this up and do it, but man, this is going to be crazy.
I'm down. I'm fucking down because that fucking third season was amazing.
That first season was like, I couldn't get enough of the first season.
Yeah.
I was like, I got a guy walking around with a gun. We got a gay cowboy walking around with a gun. I'm like, yo, and he tames tigers. You can't go any further than that. I didn't think you could. Like, but it is what it is. Like I said, yeah, he did it. He did it. Yeah. But I mean, it is what it is. We'll see. Maybe we'll get some footage of him from jail. You never know.
Well, he did do that, like, what was it, Telephone 2 in prison?
Yeah.
Like, when he did get arrested. So I can see that happening, but I wanted to also see Jeff Lowe get arrested and the other one, because they also conspired.
Yeah, they conspired.
So,
yep, yes, they did.
Well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's the thing. They rolled over. They turned informant so they didn't get so they didn't get arrested. Yeah. That's all they did was turn informant.
Oh, speaking of, did you see there was a news article that Carl Baskin put a drone inside the zoo?
Yeah, I heard that. Like I said, there's so much news that is going around. Yeah, she put a drone inside the zoo so she could fly around and see what's going on. Yeah, it's like I said, there's so much news about this. Yeah. I am not surprised if that happens. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's
gentlemen, it's about that time for your weekly sleeper picks. Everybody ready?
Yeah, I'm set.
Yeah, go ahead. Fire off.
Yeah. It's been a long time. I haven't watched it, but I was looking at my bookshelf recently, and it caught my eye. And it's a really old classic cyberpunk anime. It's Armitage the Third.
Armitage the Third. I still have that on VHS. That's how old it is. Yeah, with Keith and Sutherland. Yep, I remember that.
It's great. Like, I have both videos. I've got Armitage the Third and I've got Dual Matrix, and those are really good. Yeah. Those are classic.
They are. It's classic anime for you.
Like just as classic as Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but you're close. No, you're right though. It wasn't as commercially acceptable. It wasn't as commercially successful as Ghost in the Shell.
Is very campy. It's very campy.
Mm-hmm. I remember that back in my hand.
Armitage the Third. It's a very interesting, story. The characters are done well done. Dialogue is decent. It's pretty good.
That's a good pick though. It really is. I remember that, man. I remember when it first came on Sci-Fi. Yeah. Anyone else?
I guess I'll go next because I'll save because I got two things to mention.
Okay.
One of them is going to be a great anime called One Punch Man. You all should watch that series. It's the best thing ever.
Okay, go ahead.
We all know like Saitama, he trained how he trained and became the strongest man ever.
I said sleeper. One Punch Man is so damn popular. I said sleeper, man.
I know. But I got one more, and it's called Chelsea Sucks Arsenal.
That's what you got? That's what you got from me, Chelsea Sucks Arsenal? Yeah. He's like, Doyle rules. That's what he just did. That's what he just did to me.
I got a sleeper pick,
go ahead.
Mine right now is just the other day. In fact, that's something I should have mentioned about the whole weekend. Yesterday, went to Half Price Books.
Okay.
And I found the last of the StarCraft books that I've been looking for. And StarCraft, if you haven't known, StarCraft has a very, very rich lore that's told throughout these books. And these books are canon. So if you've ever wanted to just wonder, like, if there's any more story to StarCraft, a lot of it is fleshed out in the novels.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, there's one, it's called The Speed of, forget what it's called. It's called The Speed of something, I'll remember it. But that one tells basically through a Marine's point of view, showing like how they were brainwashed, how they were all ex-criminals, and you go through this whole brainwashed. The whole story takes place as one of the brainwashed, like tells it from this Marine's point of view, and it's very, very kind of strange how the plot twists happen. Just because, again, you don't realize that. Again, you almost forget. Oh, you're seeing it through a brainwashed person. So a lot of reality is distorted. But I ended up getting the last books, which was the Dark Templar saga, which explains, the whole Protoss and the Firstborn and all this. So again, I'll spare you the details. Just definitely check it out. Check out the StarCraft novels. There's a lot of them out there. The best ones, in my opinion, are going to be the ones about Nova and the Ghost Academy and just learning about ghosts, because I find ghosts extremely fascinating. They're probably the most fascinating part. That and the Marines about the StarCraft universe is how their military works. So yeah, give it a shot. That's all I gotta
that
say.
sounds good. It really does. I mean,
Yeah.
it really opens up StarCraft universe for everybody who's ever interested in it. Mr. Wing Zero.
I just finished beating Resident Evil 7, but I'm still playing
8?
my 3.
7 or 8?
No, 8. I'm at 8.
Village.
I'm at
Just call it
8.
Village.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. Village. Yep.
Yeah,
Resident Evil Booty Booty Edition.
I'm shutting that shit down right now.
Vampire Booty Bitch. Okay.
Go ahead.
Vampire
Go ahead.
Booty Bitch. From what I heard, okay, here's from what I heard is that
No,
she's
no.
kind of like a footnote in it.
Ooh.
But
No. I'm shutting that shit. I'm shutting that whole hype with Lady Demetrius down right now.
Uh-oh.
After beating that whole game.
Uh-oh. Go ahead.
The story,
Mhm.
I enjoyed.
Okay.
Loved it.
I keep
I
hearing good
agree
things
with my
about it.
mentor. Yeah, I agree with my mentor. If it's Resident Evil 4 done right, remastered.
Resident Evil 4. Okay.
Yes.
I heard it was more
Okay,
like
that's good.
5. I mean, between 4 and 5, but yeah. No. All right.
No, it's definitely on more Resident Evil 4 side.
Okay.
But that whole hype, that everybody kept hyping up this Lady Demetrius so fucking bad to the moon, making her sound like Billy Badass or something. She sucks.
Dude, McDonald's shut down for her. I'm just saying.
No,
I'm just saying.
he
this is-
said
no, no,
she
this is-
sucks.
No, this is real talk.
Damn.
She sucks.
Yeah, she definitely sucks, all right.
She sucks.
Get blood.
They could have done. Honestly, they could have done better with another villain.
I
So
was
forget
just-
about her.
I was going to say pause,
Nah,
but no, I'm going to let that run. Go ahead.
No, she's not worth the fucking hype. They're not even vampires. I'm showing. That's real talk. They're not even vampires.
Lycans.
Really?
No, they're not. They're
Oh,
not. They're not.
God damn it, they're not.
Look at the Fanbase, damn it.
Oh God. All right.
No, they're not. I don't want to. I don't want to spoil.
Yeah, he doesn't
I
wanna
don't
spoil it. I
spoil
get
too
it.
much of the game.
I get it. Yeah.
But just basically from the takeaway from this is that she's a footnote in the game as a whole.
Just the first boss. She sucks.
That's it, Hall. She's only the first boss. That's it.
She's the first boss.
Wow.
Christ, man. It's
Wow.
fucking
I thought it was something that's going to stuck with throughout the whole game.
That's not spoiling anything, but okay.
No,
that's good.
no,
Yeah.
it does. No, it does. Because I thought that I really had the idea that it was going to be
Yeah,
like
I
she stalks you
thought so.
throughout the entire game.
No, she is the first fucking boss.
So she's like a Resident Evil
Hey,
7.
no,
It's
no,
fucking-
motherfuckers overhyped this bitch to the fucking moon thinking she gonna be Billy Badass.
It's called Mega Drive.
I don't know. I
It's
thought
ma'am to
people
you.
just liked her because she was very attractive looking and she like happened to be like 10 fucking feet tall.
No,
Wow.
there's a story behind. There's a story behind
that's
those
good
fucking-
advertising, is what it is. That's what that was.
Yeah.
No,
You
if
underestimate the internet's horniness.
Everybody got the horny bonk.
No, if you played the game fully, reading every documentation in that game,
Uh-huh.
you will learn about those bitches.
Oh.
They're not vampires. They're not.
Okay.
That's why I said I don't want to spoil too
I
much.
thought they were.
Oh.
At first, I thought they were witches, and then they looked like they were vampires. Now
They're
it's just.
not.
Does this have anything
So
to
they-
do with the virus or anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm cool with that then.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
The mode.
Okay, yeah. I wouldn't spoil it for a lot of people that haven't
Yeah,
played it
I'm
yet.
not going to. Yeah, I wouldn't say anything else on it. Yeah, that's what my biggest
But-
concern with the game was. If it was, virus or is this like a coven of
Like-
witches? I wasn't sure.
No. The only thing I give that Lady Demetrius, the boss fight was excellent. Because
Okay.
it felt like I was playing something out of Dark Souls. The environment where
Uh-huh.
you fight her at, perfect. But
Okay.
the hype, not worth the fucking hype.
Oh wow. Oh.
It's not worth the
Damn.
fucking hype. She's just the first fucking boss. She's not Billy Badass.
But overall, the game itself is great.
The game itself is good, excellent. It's Resident Evil 4 done right.
What would you rate it if you could?
Honestly, I'll actually rate it
out of 10.
An 8 out of 10 to be
8 out of 10?
honest.
Okay.
Because I felt like after I beat the game,
8 out of 8.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
bait. That's what she is. She's bait. That's
Yeah.
all. It's
like,
cool.
Honestly, I feel like after beating the game, I feel like it left at a cliffhanger, and I gotta wait for some free update DLC. To be honest.
Not your hero. Okay. Okay, I got you. Well, not a bad.
Like the most villain I found interesting out of the 4 lords, that's what they're known as.
Okay.
Is that fat dude, right?
No, Heisenberg.
Oh, Heisenberg.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about Heisenberg. Heard a lot about him.
Yeah, somebody in the chat. Somebody in the chat also said Heisenberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, owns Lady D. Yeah,
Heisenberg to me was like the most interesting fucking villain in that whole fucking game.
Interesting. All right. Well, that's a good suggestion. You know, a good sleeper pick. I'd say. I won't know if it's sleeper pick, but I mean, still, you're giving people.
My sleeper pick would be. I recommend RE8. Good, but my sleeper pick that I've been playing after RE8, I've been finishing up on my 3DS is Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux, the remake of Strange Journey.
Yeah, you lost me at Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh!
Shin Megami Tensei.
Yo, you guys keep butting this for the rest of the day.
That's the name of the whole game. Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux. It's a remake of Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey.
Again, the Shin Megami Tensei is like I sleep. But I mean that's a very good sleeper pick. Like sell me on it because every time I see one, it just seems like I don't know, man. Like it seems like fucking skinny kids doing hood rat shit with fucking demons.
Oh my god! All right, Clay, make the case real quick.
Or is that Persona? That might be Persona.
No,
I don't know.
That's Persona. That's also part of the Shin Megami Tensei series.
See what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
But yeah,
skinny kids doing shit with fucking demons.
I recommend Strange Journey if you like. It's a good remake, and the quality of life changes are good in Strange Journey Redux. If you play the original, you will like the remake, and it's fully voiced over too. So,
okay, that's not too bad.
I can say the only game I've ever played out of the Tensei series was Nocturne. That was it.
Oh, Nocturne, great. Next week,
that's the only one I've ever played. I never played anything else.
Great.
Yeah, Nocturne is great. Next week, AC Remaster comes out. I'm ready. I already got that.
I heard Nocturne is basically like a hard Pokemon with demons.
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Here he goes.
All right, so shows that I fucking know that. That's what I heard back in the day when it came out. I was like, no, Nocturne was Pokemon with demons, and it was hard.
Before Pokemon even started, Megami Tensei was the first monster collecting.
Okay, whatever.
Hey, let's not forget Monster Rancher now. Let's not forget Monster Rancher. All right.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, it sounds like it's a similar concept, though. You collect monsters, make them fight or whatever, and they're demons, and it's hard.
Yes, Shin Megami Tensei games are, in a sense, hard if you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
All right, well, not a bad. It's not.
So there's a pretty much like a steep learning curve for them, is what you're saying. Okay.
You have to learn the game's mechanic. You have
kind of like really old Monster Hunter, where it was like, dude, you're fucking like, what the hell is this shit?
Got the crab hand hold, I guess, is what I've been told.
Yeah, that you have to use the right analog stick to swing your weapon. That's PS2. Yes.
All right.
Monster Hunter 1. But like I said,
there was another game that did that too, and it was called Too Human.
And I believe Metal Gear Solid 2 when you play it as Raiden when you get the katana. But yeah, I'll recommend Strange Journey for those that actually like Shin Megami Tensei and like the original Strange Journey.
Okay.
Good quality of life changes, fully voiced over, but it's only in Japanese. But we all watch anime in Japanese anyway. So.
Yeah, right. Well, my pick is actually something.
Well, not Joe. He's been watching the same anime for fucking 4 years straight now. I swear it's the same.
Well, Castlevania came out. You can start watching that. So, but no, my pick it's a popular, but I would say now a sleeper because it's so old. Because we got was it Venom? You know, Let There Be Carnage. This week I'm going to go with Maximum Carnage, the 14 episode issue. That's what I want to go with. Really good story for those who have not read it. Like I said, 14 issues. I would try to get the trade paperback if I were you guys. if you just try and buy a collection, you're going to get hit with so much money because of scalpers. I wouldn't go there. I would say go to your local comic book store, pay the $20 or $40 it costs for all of them in one shot. Definitely, I would say Maximum Carnage just to brush up on your history before Venom comes out.
How much has each comic book being sold that you've seen?
Oh my God, I've seen it's not each comic book. I've seen them try to sell it in sets. So I've seen sets go as high as $250.
Shit.
Yeah, for 14 books. Yeah. So and they're not
the last comic book set that I bought was a Sonic one.
Yeah, and they're not thick books either. I don't want y'all to think they're thick books. So y'all could, $20-$40 for the whole shot. You can get it for instead of the scalpers, and they know because that trailer came out. They know they're getting ready to go back. They're going to hike it up even more now. They're going to try to get their money for it. So I definitely would say if you can go to a comic book store, go get those 14 issues. Like I said, all lumped together. Paid a little bit of change for it. You know what I mean? As opposed to going on Amazon or something like that, and they really get you. The lowest I saw was like 100 and maybe 60, I think. Something like that, maybe 30, something like that. Yeah. So no low prices for Maximum Carnage at all. And if you don't have Maximum Carnage, may I suggest that it's kind of hard to find, so I'll say try to get the ROM for it. Get the Super Nintendo ROM for Maximum Carnage and play Maximum Carnage with a friend. Yeah, co-op.
That's actually a really fun beat 'em up.
It really is.
I like the Genesis version.
Yeah.
And it has Black Sabbath playing music.
Yeah.
No, it's Green Jelly.
Green Jelly. Okay.
It's Green Jelly.
Yeah. So there you go.
Green Jelly, but still.
I mean, there's our picks for the week. Hope you guys and girls loved our episode. I mean, we had to cut some things out due to time, but guess what? We bring them topics back on the next one. Trust me, we had a lot to say on this one. I knew that Terminator talk was going to bring a lot to the table. I knew it was. Yeah. I just knew it. So yeah, we had to skip a couple topics, but they're good topics. So we'll bring them back in the next one. I promise you, we will bring them back. So, but I want to thank y'all for hanging out with us. Thank you for your continued support. We're going to keep doing this, man. We're not going nowhere. No matter how many times they try to cancel us and cut us off, we're not going anywhere.
Also, another big thanks for Kay for showing up.
Yes, big thank you for our special guest friend of the show, Kay. I want to say thank you for showing up and giving us that, a little bit of education on Terminator. And yeah, hope we see him in the future as well as other people. I mean, we'll bring a couple guests on, but you know me, I'm not going to reach for the stars too much on that, with big guests. There's no point. I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? So, because we keep it the way we got it. We got the starting five. We brought one off the bench. Next time we may bring another off the bench. Depends. You know what I mean? Yeah. But we're not going to do it. I'm telling y'all now, we're not going to do it every week. Nah. But if we get a guest, we're going to make sure it's a quality guest for y'all. So we want to make sure. So with that said, until next time, I hope y'all be safe. Yep. Exactly. I hope y'all be safe. Y'all take care of yourself. And we pretty much out. Just... They said,
take care, everybody.
Yep, take care.
Appreciate for everyone showing up.
Yep, you can catch us on YouTube. You can catch on at the channel. Everything is at the bottom below on Twitch where you can check us out. Was it?
Yep, I'm on Twitter. We all on
also,
Twitter.
When it comes to YouTube, please ring the bell so people can.
We ringing the bell. Yeah, we ringing the bell on this one.
And also thanks to the UK guys for making it top 75.
Podcast. Top 75 podcast in the UK. That's right, top 75. And we only three episodes in? Yeah. That's what I want to hear.
No, Vince, somebody said they're coming for us.
You cover me and gun them all you want. You don't get smoked, little man. Don't do that. You're talking to a grand finals player. All right? Don't do that. Don't do that.
I came to a Korean boostless. I got no more Korean boostless.
All right, y'all. We out. We talk to y'all later. Till next time.
Love y'all.
Yep. Be safe.
Peace.